We're live.
All right, all right, all right. Let's
All
go.
right, let's go.
It's famous Friday.
Famous Friday.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let's go. Let's get
We
it.
made it. We made it. How you doing, Miss Jackson?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, Zoe?
I'm doing good. I'm glad that we're here. Um I'm glad that you made the time. I'm glad you thought of this. This was genius. But you are a genius though. You are the honorary auntie. You are God put us together for a reason, and I am forever thankful and grateful, even when we bump heads. Because at the end of the day, that's healthy. I don't know everything. I'm learning. Like you said, I've been here 62 plus years. I said 61 plus years, and you're absolutely right. So woo. Well, like I
No,
said,
but it's good. It's good. And the main thing is the support that we've given
yeah,
to each other from the time that we met. And I think it's important for the people to know exactly how it is that we met.
right.
Both of us being down in City Hall fighting for our mother's property.
Right.
Your mother's property, and she's currently alive, and my mother's property through the probate process. And that's how we met. Zoe was outside protesting, and I was had just started coming up to City Hall speaking from seeing Natasha Dunn and Tyrone Muhammad and them starting to fight about South Shore and immigration, but then realizing and knowing that illegal immigration wasn't the only way that they were getting us out of our neighborhoods. By way of my mother's estate, I learned that the probate process, along with the assistance of the public administration office, was another way that they were getting us out of our properties. And you were down there about eminent domain. And George Blakemore told me to go look for you because you were outside protesting. And I did. And that's how we met. And eventually I convinced you to come upstairs and start public speaking. And that created a monster.
Man, first of all, I would like to thank you and Mr. Blakemore because
Yeah.
for bringing me upstairs. Because honestly, I never told. I don't think I've told anybody this, but I do stand. I started with stand up in the stand up game, but I've always been shy. Always been shy, so I never really could like get into like doing the stand up as much. I knew I was like funny, but me going on that mic, man, give me a mic anytime now. Like so, thank you for that and keeping me focused and on and on point and just because this is hard. I never would have thought that we'd be doing this. I never thought that the Constitution would be violated like this.
Mm.
I never thought that in a million years I'd literally would be at City Hall. I like unless paying a ticket or something, but to literally be out there is like whoa. So thank you, and I think on Wednesday, as you guys know, it's budget season going on. This is our second budget season too. We did the first budget season with Mayor Brandon Johnson. This is the second
Yeah.
budget. How long we've been down there? And on Wednesday it was budget for procurement services and the law department. And I know for myself, I've realized that every alderman in there is useless, and there's no reason why they're in office. And I have nothing to say to them anymore. I have no respect. The little respect that I do have is gone. Yeah, it's just my goal is to. It's just time to get some Republicans in office. It's time to change this whole political landscape in Chicago. They can't do anything. They won't do anything.
They won't
And,
do anything.
huh?
I said they won't do
Yeah, they
anything.
won't do anything. And I know if I was any type of public servant, I know I've done more for the average person than they have. And that's crazy because I don't even get any of these salaries.
Yeah. So with that being said, let's make them famous. Let's make them famous. Let's do for them the same thing that they've done for us. Think about it. Had it not been for the corruption of City Hall, had it not been for the failure of City Hall to help us with our issues with our properties, for our mother's properties, no one would even know us. No one would know us. No one would be on high alert to look out for their properties. No one, maybe in Chicago, would have been as motivated to do something different and change and get out of this democratic craziness. So just like they made us famous, because I never wanted to be into no YouTube stuff, you know that.
Right.
I never wanted to be on no social media junk and none of that. Michael Young Bay started that with his
Right.
More Real News man down there. Yeah. And I used to get at him about it.
Yeah.
But now I'm thankful because it's let a lot of people know what has been going on for years. And the thing that I like about it is us coming down to City Hall. And even though we were talking about our properties and the news would only pick up a lot of times just what we were saying about illegal immigration.
Right.
But what it also did is it motivated people across the country to start going to City Hall and speaking up and getting involved in their local politics, because local politics plays such a major role. It's the failure of the local politics down there in City Hall that has caused us to be on this platform today. That's caused us to want to make them famous. We want the constituents to know exactly who these older people are.
Yeah.
We want them to know who they're voting for. We want them to know how do they stand for them and their needs. We want the city of Chicago to know what the democratic machine has resulted to in this city.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So let's get started with the first person up. It's no other than who? Zoe Leigh. Who's the first person we're going to make famous?
Jesse's girl. Jessie Jessica Fuentes. You want to start? This is Ward 26, Alderperson Jessie Fuentes. She is one of the first. She's one of the first aldermen that has made history. Because they got it. You got to put the LGBTQ in. She's made history as being the first LGBTQ candidate in the 26th ward, and her current salary and she's only been in there for a year, $142,776. And if they pass this budget, she will be getting almost a $4,000 raise, coming up to $145,974. Now, Miss Jessica, what is the famous thing that she said that, I know what she said, but I love when you say it.
The most famous thing that I ever heard Jessie, aka Jessica Fuentes, say is when we were in the midst of trying to get the sanctuary buses stopped, the sanctuary city stopped, when we were fighting back and forth in City Hall about that, and Rosa had interrupted the vote. They showed a news clip on Jessie Fuentes. She stood up on her little desk platform and she said, "Sanctuary city or not, these buses are going to keep coming." I was like, whoa, who is this chick?
Right.
Who is this chick that could make such a profound and definite statement? Who is she? And to learn from you just now that the reason why she felt that she could stand up like that is because of why? Because she was the first LGBT person?
Yes,
Because of
in
that
her
political
ward,
background, unless you
Latina to hold the position, the first woman to lead the 26th ward, 32 years old. Okay, she says, we literally broke glass ceiling last night when she won. She said, this win is an accomplishment for every woman, every LGBTQ individual doing groundbreaking work across Chicago. Having our interests and needs represented in city council is a huge win for us. Well, before we tap into that, I also want to say I'm part of the alphabet community. I have went to Jessie Fuentes. I also know her wife. And she has not once came to me and talked to me about anything when it comes to my housing when she ran on anti-gentrification.
Ran on anti-gentrification. And we're down there 2-3 times a week.
2-3 times. She came to you.
It wasn't about this. When she came to me, she asked me, she said, so, Miss Jackson, what does the Black and Brown coalition, like the Black and Brown togetherness, look like? Like, how can we get there? That's what she came to me about. And my response to her was, when we get our money. So she says, so this is about economics? Well, what isn't? What else would it be about? What else would it be about?
Right.
I don't know. How would you expect the Black and Brown, the purple and green, or anybody to get along if you see one side of the equation getting all the money and the other side getting none? Right. How do you think that is going to come together and correlate with? So that's what she asked me about. She has never asked me about my issue with this property. Right. Miss gentrification, anti-gentrification.
Anti-gentrification. The fact that she joined a anti-gentrification, a grassroots campaign movement called Humble Park No Se Vende. It's to protect longtime residents from being pushed out of their neighborhoods.
I don't know how much of a longtime resident it is than someone who had property for 62 years. Now, in the same area. Now, someone might say, well, she's not your alderman. She didn't have to do it. What about your alderman? Well, I mean, there's truth to that, and we'll deal with that when his name get pulled out of the hat. But for right now, the bottom line is this. As a public servant, I didn't know that you had the liberty to decide that you're not going to get involved, because it's all salaries, all taxes that help to pay that alderperson's salary.
And her workers.
And any materials she needs, anything that she's going to pass through, that takes the property taxes and the taxes of all citizens. Unless, and I could be wrong, if I went up to her ward, because I can go to any part of Chicago that I want to. So if I go up to her ward and I buy something in her ward, if I buy some potato chips or something in her ward, does that money not go to that ward because I don't live there? Any money that's spent anywhere in the city goes towards the running of City Hall.
Right.
Your money just does not go to where you live. Your money that you spend in the city benefits the whole city. So everybody that's down there in City Hall, that has knowledge of how they can assist a citizen.
Right.
I don't understand how, if they're not in your ward, then you don't assist them.
Exactly. Now,
And I know that's not true because I've had other wards, other aldermen assist me in other things, or even, do some assistance in this that are not in my ward. So I know that's not true.
That's right. And I know that someone asked here, did she run unopposed? No, it was 3 other candidates, and then the person who was 13 years in there, Maladano, he endorsed her. But no, she ran against 3 other Latino candidates. I think Puerto Rican, because she comes from a Puerto Rican background. But my thing is, how can you advocate for anti-gentrification while also supporting illegal immigration policies that are directly impacting the Black communities?
That's the perfect question. How? It's all such a fraud. How?
What did she ask you again? What does Black and brown look like?
Us not getting pushed out our neighborhoods in order to accommodate buses that's coming in here. Let's start there. Because gentrification and every thought of gentrification started with the ideology of pushing Black people out of neighborhoods.
Black people.
Understand that. Any plot of housing, uprooting housing, anti-housing, redlining housing, stealing housing, it always starts with the Black community first.
Yes.
So you get an anti-gentrification platform to stop the people being moved out in your ward while you're willing, stood up and said, like it or not,
right,
sanctuary city, and not these buses gonna keep coming, where they constantly coming to your neighborhood for Fuentes,
and
where they constantly coming to other people's neighborhoods. See, that's the question. Since you want to talk about being anti-gentrifying, when you stood up, when we were coming in there saying, stop, we don't want them in our neighborhoods, stop, fix our communities. When you were asking, what did Black and brown look like?
Right.
Did it look like to you that it meant preserve your neighborhood, your Puerto Rican neighborhood, and disrupt the Black communities? Because that's exactly what happened. With that group of Hispanic aldermen, they sat there and just poured illegal immigrants in the Black communities.
The Hispanic
just poured them in there, poured them, would not stop. The point of now, she's about to get a raise. She's about to get a raise while she contributed to the financial downfall of this city by saying, like it or not, sanctuary city or not, these buses gonna keep coming. In other words, whether we make this city broke or not, these buses are going to keep coming. Whether the citizens want it or not, whether we can afford it or not, whether it runs us in a hole, whether you all are happy about it or not, this is what we're going to keep doing. All the way to the point of where we are now. For a person who did not come over to me, a resident of South Shore, an area of the city that's been aggressively gentrified.
Right.
And ask, how can she assist me in this at all?
And
it's the phoniness of it all.
Helping working families stay in gentrifying Humboldt Park will be among one of her top priorities when she gets in office. Also, she says so many of our families are putting their homes up for sale and moving because of the increased property taxes. Our families deserve to stay in a community they have called home for decades.
Okay, so who does that apply to? See, because again, you want to be recognized as the first LGBTQ because you want to see that as a special group that's been discriminated against or mistreated. But here I am, a Black person who, if it wasn't for Black people, LGBTQ wouldn't even have civil rights.
Amen.
And you feel nothing about my property being stolen to be pushed out.
You're breaking up a little bit. I don't know if it's you got good service. I got good. I'm
Yeah.
You hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you great. It's just freezing, just making sure. But yeah, I hear you. Everything. I hear everything.
Okay.
Even when you were talking, I hear you.
Okay.
So yeah.
It's the irony of it all. It's the irony of it all.
For me. Recently, so her and her wife own a 2-flat in Humboldt Park. In an investment property they rent out to tenants. And they just recently purchased a house in Humboldt Park. How you feel about that?
I feel that if people are working and earning their money, they should be able to buy anything that they want. That's what makes America great. Free enterprise, capitalism.
Right.
But to not have that same energy or same concern for your constituents, for the citizens of Chicago. See, that's the thing. This is why, and you don't want to sound, but then it can be taken however somebody want to take it. This is the reason why it needs to be, we need to look at how long some of these alderpersons, how long have they been citizens? Or are they actually citizens?
Well, she grew
up. Are they here on, the reason why I say that is this, is because if you can see that you want to take advantage of the opportunities of America, but at the same time not have the respect for the Americans, and not see, and to only be able to see the urgency of your country, to just be so focused on that because you understand that you need real estate or you and your wife wouldn't have bought it. You understand that communities need to be protected or you wouldn't have ran on an anti-gentrification platform. So you understand these things, but you only understand it for your group.
Right.
While you benefit off of everybody's efforts.
Right.
Your Hispanic immigrants, your LGBT group benefit of the Americans, the natural American citizens here. So to come into this and have no regard for that, the expectations that we have regard for your hardship from your country, I just don't get it. I don't get how you could be so involved with real estate, tenants, property, gentrification, want to stand for women, when I know I'm a woman, all this and that, and you show absolutely no concern for what my property issue is.
Now she's Puerto Rican and she's from Humboldt Park. Her parents were struggling with drug addiction, and she moved out at an early age. She had got expelled from a school. So my thing is, she turned herself around. But what I think is, because of those situations, he became an organizer and all these things. How do you get into these type of this public, into as an organizer, community organizer, you get in this? How do you, and you come from this and you run off this? Like, I didn't know that, your mother struggled with drugs or anything like this. You guys are pouring this out, letting us know this. So my thing is, all of this you're letting us know, but we've been coming down there for 2 years and she don't even speak to me. You understand? Like, yeah, this is the second Pride that month that I've been coming down there. June is Pride. I know you don't know Miss Jackson, but the next and they'll stand up and do their resolutions and say how all this stuff about that, but you see me and you don't say nothing to me. I've seen her at events. Don't say nothing to me. My thing is, my issue, my problem. But again, it ain't no black and brown. And you really don't care about this anti-gentrification thing. You just ran on that, got in there. You got the guy to endorse you. You did a couple of things with this organizing group. You did a couple of things with housing, because I seen a couple of pictures with Pritzker behind you. I've seen another with Lamont Robinson. This was before you became an alderman, and what I'm learning is if you're in certain pockets or whatever, it doesn't matter. You're going to get in and continue to do the same cycle that the rest of the aldermen been doing. Nothing, eventually get caught for stealing, and things like that. But I want to jump on to ShotSpotter, because
wait a minute. So before we go to that,
okay,
I want to go back to when you brought up about the past that you read about in the article and whatnot.
Yeah,
this is my thing. When you talk about being a politician,
right,
and when you talk about making the type of salaries or the type of decisions that people in these positions make,
right,
it can't be grounded in your quote unquote hard luck story unless that hard luck story produced some type of policy or some type of something already.
right,
because everybody has one. See, everybody has one.
Everybody
for one reason or another. Because nobody has a perfect life, a perfect childhood, but that's not enough to be an alderperson, someone that's supposed to be in charge of a whole ward.
A whole ward.
Somebody that has to make decisions about housing, about taxes. See, this is what happens when we get into even what we're struggling with as a race. We got it bad, this identity politics.
We do.
We jump up and want to vote for somebody because they black.
Right.
We want to endorse them because they're black.
Absolutely.
And now we've ended up in the situation that we're in. We got black aldermen that what? We got a black mayor that what? We had a black mayor before this black mayor. What? We got black Cook County president, black Timothy Evans chief judge, black
Tony
right, black that. And it has availed us what me and you know better than anybody. All this black leadership ended up what? And it's the same thing that happens when you identify as the first this, the first that, the first queer, the first. Now there we go. There we go. Instead of looking at what did this person produce, being an activist, in my opinion, it's not enough. People ask me all the time, Miss Jessica, you won't run for something. You should run for something. No, I shouldn't. No, I shouldn't. Just because I know about my mother's case, and I do know about that corruption down there now, that's for sure.
Right.
But does that translate to me being able to run a ward or even having a desire to run a ward? And we have too many people like Jessie Fuentes in these positions that, from what I'm seeing, that are there by way of being an activist or organizer, but they don't know politics. And that's why when you get into these hard situations like yours and mine, what I saw is they don't even have the tools to correct this. They don't have the tools to correct it, and they don't have the courage to correct it. What they have is what you saw.
You can find the tools, but they don't have the courage.
They don't have the
There's
courage.
no way in the world, Miss Jessica, if I was in office, if I was in that administration, a chief of staff, anybody's chief of staff, because we've seen all their chief of staffs down there, all their workers. There's no way possible you would still be down there. I would still be down there.
It's no way possible.
On a management level, this is crazy. Like I got to get to the bottom of this. This does not make any sense. Y'all think they coming every day. Y'all don't see nothing wrong with this. So my thing is though, the courage, the common sense, the tools. Because how are y'all love to say that y'all are organizers. Y'all love to say that y'all can't even organize a meeting. You about to get $146,000. You only been in office
$146,000.
You're going on 2 years.
At 32 years old, without a political background. You didn't mention if she had a college education in political science or pre-law. And I know someone's going to say, it don't matter. It don't matter. Education don't matter. Well, in some instances, it does. Would you want a doctor operating on you just because he was real good at wrapping up band-aids and ankles? Right. Wouldn't you want someone that has had some level of study before they go cutting on you? Now, there are some instances where education is not necessarily required, but I don't think that politics is one of those situations, especially when you look at the way that City Hall is being ran. Especially when you're looking at somebody who, by her own admission, had this trouble past, if you will, right, and came into politics shortly after that. Where have you learned politics? Or if you we know, just because you take pictures with somebody, how well do you know them? How well do they know anything about you? It's just a picture.
It's just a picture.
You know, it's just a picture. So the fact that you have a picture with J.B. Priester, I don't know. Maybe he came to a troubled teen program one day and took a picture with you, you know, but it doesn't mean that he knows your level of work. Where is your level of work? If you from that checkered past like that, okay, then where's the program that you put together as an organizer, as an activist, that we see some results? Where you saw that problem, you tackled that problem, and this is what's in place for that problem. You getting a housing development over in your ward, I'm sorry, that just doesn't cut it. When you're down there all the time and you see how these deals are so quickly made and how does it, I'm not so convinced that takes a high level of intelligence.
Right.
To put that together, it looks more like it takes some type of connections to make sure that illegals are housed everywhere to make that happen.
No, you're right. You know, it's a connection game. It's a connection thing. I see it with well, I mean, they're not as buddy as they were, but I call him racist, the gay racist, Bennett Lawson. You know, when we first was in there, anything that she said, she's just so smart. And it's just like she ain't saying nothing. You know, but it's just like, but they come from this you know, they got the Black Chicago caucus in there. She's in the Progressive caucus and the Latino caucus. You know, they love to throw out that they're in these caucus, and I don't even know what's the purpose of them. Do you know?
I don't either. You know, I would love for one of these caucuses, whichever one, I would love to hear them tackle any problem in addition to housing. Yeah. I would love to hear them talk about education. I would love to hear them talk about trades, and I would love to hear them talk about getting grocery stores, healthy eating in our communities. You know, the only thing they talk about is housing and affordable housing, subsidized housing, low income housing, even lower income housing. Just the attempt to house illegals in new projects all over the city.
All over the city. It's
All
even
over
turning
the
down.
city.
They're moving these people into other like hotels are no longer hotels,
Nope.
and though and a lot of Indians own these hotels, and those are and they're working closely with Chicago Housing Authority because they are going to become the new projects.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and speaking of that, she's going through a today was supposed to be the day that there's a she has a tent city in Humboldt Park, and the encampment the people are they have some protesters. They even protest during the DNC. They walked from Milwaukee, you understand, because they were trying to push the actually clean up the city because DNC was there. But these tents have been in this park at Humboldt Park because they don't want to go into the shelters because the shelter systems are messed up, or they have like Michael Young Bay says, it's mold all over the place and stuff like that. But they're asking for the mayor and the 26th ward, Jessie Fuentes, to do something, to do something about it. She has, they say she's housed 30 or 40 people so far, but according to one of the members over there, that's a lie. They haven't. The only thing they try to is housing and shelter, and they don't want to go to a shelter. So they feel safer in the tent, but they said that any resources that they did have, there's no resources for the Chicago citizens. So they want housing. There's no housing. So it's either they go to the shelter or they stay in the tent, and they rather do the tent. But people over there, because it is being gentrified over in Humboldt Park, some people that have $100,000 homes, $200,000 homes, $300,000 homes, they don't want to see tents in this park.
And I mean, and rightfully so, and rightfully so. House the people. Again, how do you say these buses gonna keep coming? They're gonna keep coming. And you can't house the citizens that's in your ward. That doesn't make any sense. The mere fact that this city would come up with a term tent city, like they were talking about putting out there, in Ron Mosley and Roseland, they was going to put a tent. How do you come up with the idea that we're going to make tents housing? I mean, you can see how a homeless person would, because a lot of them have mental trauma and mental illnesses. You can see how a vet would for the same reasons. A lot of them. So you can see how they would go get a tent and put it in the park. Now, I'm not saying that the city should allow that.
Right.
Because people do want to use parks.
Right.
And you can't be mad at people about that at all. At all. And people should live indoors.
Right.
That's a pure fact. But for the government, the mayor, city hall, to come up with the idea that to house these people that we bring across the border, we're gonna build a tent city. How disgusting is that?
Roseland.
That's disgusting.
They tried to do Brighton Park.
Yeah.
Brighton Park, but never.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
And the only reason why she has these few tents in where she's at is because they've been there, but they're not pushing for any of these illegals to go in Humble Park?
No, they're not. No, they're not. You know, that's another survey that I would like to take. In addition to whether these people are actual citizens, you should have to be a complete United States citizen in order to serve in City Hall. Period. Period. Now, also, in all of this that they've done with these illegals, it should be a survey taken to see how many illegals live in their areas, on their street, on their street.
On their street.
How many tents are there? How many women are there with the kids with on the sidewalk?
On the side, yep, with the candy.
How much is there on the street that they live on? When you stood up and said these buses gonna keep coming, like it or not, they're gonna keep. Did you mean in any of that they was gonna keep coming to your street?
Right.
You know, that's insane to me. You know, these that advocate for that. And today we just talking about her.
Right.
I want to audit. Because when I go out my door, I have to look at that. When I get up there on that South Shore Metro.
Right.
To come to City Hall to fight for my property that's been in my family for 62 years, like she said, but families that's being pushed out of the community due to gentrification, right? Like what I'm telling you about over here in South Shore. Right.
For 2 years now.
For 2 years now.
We've been in office the same time. We've been going down there. She's been in there for going on 2 years. We've been coming down there.
Yeah, she was there when we got there.
Yeah.
So now, and I get the good privilege of while I'm waiting for the train to come, the metro train to come, to look at this apartment that's newly redone for illegals to sit in there, to be in there. They in there parlaying. They got a boat that they just put out there. They didn't move some couches in front of it, and they out there in front of it, the couches. When I come off the train in the evening for fighting my property, they doors open, blasting their little, you know, music. They just as comfortable.
Just as comfortable.
They just as comfortable. But I'm down there fighting for my property, and nobody can seem to work it out. Not even Miss Anti-gentrification.
They ran on it.
Right.
She ran on anti-gentrification.
She ran on it.
She ran on it. That's on her website right now. Jessie for 26. Jessie's girl. It's on there right now.
So I want to see what has she done to stop gentrification.
Well, you know they have that
so if you have something, Jessie Fuentes, to show what you've done for gentrification, to stop gentrification, please bring that to me so that we can clear it up. I will not want to accuse you of something that's wrong.
Are you familiar with the Northwest Side Housing Preservation Ordinance?
Yes.
I'm just gonna, this is what pisses me off about the 20 Aldermen, but we'll do that another time. But the Northwest Side Housing Preservation Ordinance recently passed a policy in Chicago designed to combat gentrification and protect affordable housing in neighborhoods like Logan Square, Humboldt Park, Avondale, and Hermosa. Sponsored by Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa, Jessie Fuentes, Maria Haddon, and a few others. The ordinance imposes significant surcharges on developers who demolish small multi-unit residential buildings, such as 2 flats and 4 flats. These surcharges, $20,000 per unit and $60,000 per building, are intended to deter demolition and fund community land trusts for preserving affordability. Let me go.
So that translates to we got low income housing for immigrants. I want to know how many of those personally owned 2 flats or 3 flats were you able to preserve?
Right. The ordinance
Right.
also
The
gives
private
tenants
owners, the private owners.
because it gives tenants the right of first refusal when their building is up for sale, allowing them to buy the property before developers can. This measure aims to prevent displacement and maintain neighborhood diversity by ensuring longtime residents can stay in their homes. It builds on previous anti-gentrification programs targeting other parts of the city, but with increased fees and expanded protections.
You already know that's not true. You already know that those investors are going to come in and outbid that private owner. You already know if those people have been living there as tenants for X amount of time. If they wanted to buy from that owner who already had it, why would investors and city be involved in the conversation at all? If my tenant on the first floor, if I decide to buy this building, to sell this building, and my tenant on the first floor in the basement there, why is the city involved in it at all? How would an investment company get involved in it at all? I can have that conversation with my tenant on my own.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. It's another what we call word salad. It doesn't make any sense. As a private owner, you do not have to involve the government in anything that you do. See, that's the Democratic Party way. The government always wants to be involved with something. That's just new thinking that's being bought in by all this illegal immigration, this progressiveness, and all this. It's this constant interference of the government with everything you do. Government housing. Government ran grocery stores.
Yep. And
government, what is it? Universal base.
The way that they're doing it is in the name of progressiveness or
Right.
socialist, but it's just the way of, honestly, the Hispanic KKK, because that's what I call them, to take over the government. And they're getting in. Some are being run unopposed. Some of them are getting in the way that she just got in. And we aren't doing our homework. We're just, like you say, identity politics. We're just voting people in because that's the first this, the first that, the first to never do nothing. When are we going to do the first to never do nothing? The first to continue to collect money and don't do nothing. The first, like, come on now. Like, come on, like you in there every week doing nothing. You stand up with your suit jackets on, got your hands to the side boost, and you stand up and say absolutely nothing. Nothing.
The same thing. Stand up and lean over. Mess with your button, your jacket button, and turn to the left and say 2 sentences and dip down. Turn to the right and say 2 sentences and dip down.
Right.
Just nothing. Nothing. And it comes from not having experience. You know, it just comes from not having experience.
You know, one of her things that she says is, I don't want to govern on behalf of people. I want to govern with people.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Please.
What does that mean?
Can I get that in a sentence?
What does that mean?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Your responsibility is to govern on behalf of the people. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You hear from the people and you come back and you govern on their behalf. If you were governing with the people, then you would have come over to me and you.
Because she asked you, what does black and brown look like?
Because she wanted to know what it looked like. And after I told her, I never heard her stand up, look to the left, look to the right, and ever say, give black people their money.
Right.
Stop pushing black people out of their neighborhoods by gentrification.
Right.
I never heard her say that. What's up, Danny?
Hey, y'all. Hey, you all. Hey, my beautiful Bridge family.
How did it go?
Oh, it went excellent. I just finished.
Okay, cool.
We talked about the housing with Jessie's girl.
Oh, that's good.
And we are about to actually move on to ShotSpotter, because she was one of the aldermen who alderperson. But I'm not getting that pronoun junk either. That voted against ShotSpotter. And one of the things her saying was that it was no real language on how we're supporting the contract, how much money is given, and how this is implemented in each respective ward. How much prerogative would the alderman in those wards have? Ma'am, you're about to get $146,000 of our money. Okay, I want to know how, like, what are you doing with that?
Right.
You're not doing nothing. You're going on almost $300,000 that you've made in the last 2 years. And we don't talk about, and we don't know about campaign money.
You know, I read on there where she says something like something about, well, even the people that what she said, the people who didn't vote for ShotSpotter has ShotSpotter has the less amount of crimes in their neighborhood. The neighborhoods that have the wards that have the less amount of crime don't even have ShotSpotter. Right? She said that, right?
Again, also said that there's no evidence ShotSpotter makes Chicago safer.
That's what they said, huh?
Yes, they, them. Yep, they. Yep.
This is the thing with that. Again, not understanding politics. Of course, the areas that have the less crime don't even have ShotSpotter, because it's a direct correlation between crime and poverty. Your most poverty-ridden areas need ShotSpotter, because you're going to have more crime in those areas. If you have economically higher area,
right,
it may not have ShotSpotter because it doesn't have as much crime, because it's not as much poverty.
Exactly.
That's, if you don't know that correlation, again, one has to ask, how are you making $146,000?
Or you know, the 26th ward includes parts of Humble Park, Logan Square, West Town, and Belmont Cragen, right? Now, a fewer than 9,000 people came out and voted for her. Now, 55,000 residents in her ward. So y'all got to get out and vote too. But in October, and it was hush hush, was a lot of the Logan Square neighbors were fed up with the shootings of the late night rowdiness from this certain club, LV Club, right? And there have been a total of 28 shootings, 5 of them fatal, since July. Okay.
But she voted against ShotSpotter.
And I think I just saw an article about what's going on in Humble Park with all them tents, right? With them
Yeah.
tents.
We talk about that. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, go ahead.
In Humble Park, where she's at, 2 people were killed and 4 people were wounded.
Mm.
But
We don't need ShotSpotter.
we don't need ShotSpotter.
Miss Jessica, would you please run for the alderman of
And I just could look, no, because I just told them why she shouldn't have been no alderman with that lack of experience, getting all this money.
Because you know the progressive, because she's part of the progressive caucus, aka Hispanic KKK. They believe that violence interrupters will resolve in gang violence. They will resolve the gang violence. The violence interrupters. That's what they believe in.
Who are violence interrupters?
I guess ex-gang members or people who are not I don't know. I guess like the Tyrone Muhammad's, I guess. I don't know.
We need to get rid
Do
of those
they
progressive.
elaborate?
Huh?
Do they elaborate in the article who these
No,
violence?
but gang interrupters though, that's what they are. But I got you. Hold on. But yeah. But that's basically a lot of these places get this. I gotta get Miss Carla. Got me Miss Carla. Miss Carla was working for one of them, and the city was giving them like millions of dollars, like
Really?
to come and supposed to be the intervention, come and hang outside, and they were stealing all the money.
That's what it. We need to get rid of these progressive. Let's just say these progressive and all this garbage. These people have to go. We have to get rid of all of these Democrats, progressive and any red. You all flip Chicago and Illinois red.
So
you got to get rid of it. It doesn't make any sense.
Are people
They too soft on
crime.
Violence interrupters or credible messengers are people who are through their relationships and experience in a community can help de-escalate situations that may turn violent. So they want to get rid of the police.
Man, nigga over here can stop nothing over here from jumping off. Let's make that clear. Know what I called any of them to. So you gonna call on that's doing it?
That's right. That's right.
Like who coming?
Who's coming? Who's coming?
Who's coming? Us.
Man,
we had 28
shootings. Man, you had Alderman Fuentes. You had 28 shootings in your ward. In
Who
just
came?
one area. Just one
Who
area,
came?
Logan Square.
Who came?
Fatal.
Who came?
But don't call the police and you don't need ShotSpotter.
Right.
Who came?
Who came? Yeah, who came?
Who came?
Because y'all not calling the police.
That's exactly.
Because you got violence interrupters. Who came?
Who came?
So look, because you all want to defund the police, who we gonna call? Tell me who we gonna call, because we need to know this. Defund the police, we got it. Okay. Violence interrupters, we got it. Who we calling?
Who we calling?
Who's the number?
Ghostbusters? Are we calling Ghostbusters?
Who are we calling?
Oh.
If some jump off right now, outside of the police, who am I calling?
The ShotSpotter's not doing it. ShotSpotter's not. ShotSpotter's a detect. First of all, it was a detection, and that's another reason why I know that half these aldermen need to get out.
Right.
Because they don't know what a detection is. They didn't know. They didn't understand that.
You telling a story.
Okay, so ShotSpotter basically was somebody get shot and it's just I guess like, and the police is supposed to like automatically like know where the killer is, who shot the person. They're not understanding that it's a detection, right?
Right. It's
So
a detection.
because of Anaya Preston, for instance, right? God rest her soul, the police officer.
Yeah.
She was coming home from work.
Right.
Now, if ShotSpotter wasn't there,
right,
her mother would have came out in the next morning and seen her dead outside.
That's right. Exactly.
There was a man riding around on the south side, Inglewood, a white man, had hella guns and everything in his van. He was shooting, right? Shooting at people, whatever, like shooting, but it was a white guy. ShotSpotter was the one that detected the shots and found his crazy self.
That's right.
Okay. Now, when they took ShotSpotter out, when Chico, Alderman Chico, who is an ex-police officer, he explained that he needs ShotSpotter in his ward. The following week, a lady was found dead in his alley I think she was down there for 2 days.
Yes, 2 days. For days. And they're showing that because people get so acclimated to hearing gunshots, people don't even call. You know,
and that's what they were explaining.
Exactly. They don't even call. So you hear gunshot, you be like, was that firecrackers or was that a gunshot? And then you just leave it alone. All the while, somebody laying, like you said, somebody laying there shot could be getting help with the ShotSpotter, could be getting help for them, but don't nobody knows that they laying there dying and that's it.
Yeah. But
common sense stuff.
These aldermen, part of the Hispanic KKK, they all said no, right? Because they need something better. But we still don't have anything.
We don't have anything though.
We're on 18 bodies, what they call them Brandon bodies, right? That have
what?
Yeah, 18 bodies so far in shots where ShotSpotters were. And so every time it's a body that's found in one of those wards that where a ShotSpotter was, they call it Brandon bodies. So we're at 18 Brandon bodies. 18 Brandon bodies, and we're at eight Jessie Fuentes bodies.
Yeah, let's start naming them. Yes, that's a good one.
That's 18.
Let's start naming them.
8 Fuente bodies too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because she voted against it, knowing that there was nothing in place for
That's
it.
right.
No,
all of them that voted against it, knowing that there was nothing in place for it, needs to have that body count attached to their name, just like what you did. Yeah, because that was completely irresponsible. Completely irresponsible, because supposedly it was a campaign promise, which is the reason why he had to get rid of it, because he promised to get rid of it as a campaign promise. So we know his campaign promises are not binding.
You give that up, right? You have a campaign promise, but you working on $68 million property tax.
That's what I'm saying. We know his campaign promises were not binding. Okay, we know that now.
Right.
Okay, and then on top of that, when he gave a press conference about that ShotSpotter vote,
right,
and he had general counsel, corporate counsel, Mary Richardson Laurie there to give the explanation.
Useless
that,
corporate.
You know, again, if you knew that there was a legal reason as to why you could get rid of it and it would be nothing that the superintendent or anybody else could do, then again, why would you not have something in place for it?
That's right.
When it expired, you know, legally that you can't do anything, that you have to end it. And you made a campaign promises. So how did we get to it being canceled with absolutely no plan in place?
Oh, wow.
And you ran on a campaign to lower crime. And again, every last one of those aldermen in there, including Jessie Fuentes, should have voted that you have to keep it until you have something else.
That's so true. That's it. That's just common, even if you don't have no experience. Like, you know, that's crazy. And then not only that, then you invite what? We got 70,000 illegal aliens here, and we know Trendiagua here. So then you got, let's count these people too. And you take away ShotSpotter. So we're not just dealing with the regular crowd we had, you know what I'm saying, before
because
this.
What I'm learning, because she's Puerto Rican, Rosanna Rodriguez Sanchez, she's Puerto Rican, and Carlos Rosa Ramirez, he's half Puerto Rican. This is a Puerto Rican, they are on some type of, because, you know, they can't vote. You know, Puerto Rico can't vote. You know, they're part of the United States, but they can't vote and stuff like that. And I'm starting, even AOC is one, too. And Puerto Rico, I'm starting to see them pushing because they're trying to get to Congress, because they're trying to push for Puerto Rico to be able to vote. And I'm seeing, and they, it's not, man, it's bigger. It's like I said, that's a whole nother situation. But that is what I'm seeing, what I'm learning, what I'm looking at. Even with the whole thing with Trump, with the Puerto Rican, he didn't say anything, but the comedian, how they tried to take it somewhere else and stuff like that. Yeah. So that is the but that is, it's like they moving in. They're moving in the name of black and brown. They're moving in the name of, you know, the brown and black are getting beat up by the police, getting killed by the police.
Right.
You know, and it's not like that at all. The black is getting killed by the police.
That's right.
Understand what I'm saying? The brown, they killing each other.
Right. The brown,
and when I say the police, and when I'm saying the police is getting, it's the police. When I'm saying that is, you're trying to ride on that
narrative.
Sean Bell is the perfect, which Sean Bell in New York, what happened, you know, even before the Trayvon Martin thing. That's a perfect example. Like, they were just outright racist. That situation, you know, and like I said, it's bad cop, but they're trying to ride that wave to defund the police when you know that y'all aren't getting. The situation happened with Sonia Massey. You understand? Like, y'all talk about the black and brown, but when stuff like that happens, Sonia Massey, where you at?
No, they not.
Where you at, Jessie Fuentes, Rosanna Rush, all the ShotSpotter people and all that, all the police reform and all that. Where y'all at? You know what I'm saying? Y'all not. It's y'all are riding on, like Ms. Jackson said all the time. Y'all riding on our plight, and I didn't understand when she was saying that at first. Then I started doing my own research. I started seeing it, and I'm like, oh yeah, y'all are.
Right, no,
not, you know, and the black it's not black and brown. It's brown. It's brown.
That's right.
And you have these losers like some of them other progressive black aldermen in there that are riding with them, knowing damn well that they don't even care for us.
That's right.
But they don't care for us.
That's right.
There you go. And that's what's so sad. You know, that has been the most, besides just seeing how corrupt Chicago is and how just, you know, it's that's been the worst part of this whole thing, to seeing the lack of care and concern for the black community in this city. The fact that, the fact that when we first would come down there and we would keep hearing black and brown, black and brown, black and brown, and actually only have black statistics, stats up on the board, statistics up on the board.
Yeah.
But then give all the money to Brown, to share all the concern with Brown, and to see the black aldermen do it, to see that the black aldermen they just go hard For these new arrivals, the fake asylum seeking narrative, the fake refugee thing, the fake, all of that fake junk, and not have no concern for the reality of the empty lots on the south and west side, the reality of the abandoned buildings, the reality of the loss of education and quality of life on the south side and west side, to show no concern for it, none.
But why would they? Why would they show? But Miss Jessica, why would they show concern when we've been coming up there for them for 2 years?
That's the point that I'm making. It's just so sad.
It's sad.
It's so sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. It's so sad.
The fact that you are a community, well, activists, all that stuff, but when it came to the DNC, you write letters asking them not to protest and all that stuff.
Right.
You for affordable housing. You for the housing. They need to house these people, but DNC coming. I got put down. I can't do DNC coming. You understand? I'm making one. I'm about to make 150,000. I gotta get ready. I got my people coming in, so I gotta get dressed. So the DNC that I'm about to drink some cocktails with these people.
Right,
we're not going back. And and you writing these letters like, please do not protest for DNC. What are you talking about?
Right.
Because like it or not, these buses are coming.
That's what she said.
For the illegal.
She says, sanctuary city or not. In other words, it don't matter what y'all say.
They come.
And how in the world can an alderperson tell the public, the constituents, the citizens that's paying your salary?
That's right.
That it don't matter what y'all say.
What you say?
We gonna get the people, we gonna get these illegal immigrants on you. We gonna make you pay for it. Right. We checking you, a 32-year-old whose only claim to fame is that you're the first queer, can stand up and tell the city.
That's right.
Sanctuary city or not, can tell the third largest city in the United States of America. Sanctuary city or not, these buses gonna keep coming.
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are? That was my first thought, Danny. That was my first thought. Who do you think you are?
And
but you can't find housing for the 10 people in the park.
But you can't find housing for the 10 people in the stand up on that same desk. On that same desk. And turn that same part to the side it had. To the sides this way, 2 seconds that way, and say, house these people in Humboldt Park. Get them out of this park. Let the neighborhood be safe. Get these people a roof over their head.
I think we need ShotSpotter in Logan Park, because they keep shooting over here at this club that they're not closing down, because clearly they know somebody in the city that keeps letting them open, because let that be the 50-yard line. Leo's still closed now.
Leo's still closed now. Let that be exactly.
That owner does a lot for the community.
Yes, he do. Employ a lot of people. So, and make
it make sense. Make it make sense.
You want to defund the police,
right?
Do you want to defund the police because when you was working in a movie theater, you was letting everybody come in there to watch the movies for free, and you stole $300 from them? You wasn't what is it?
And you got mad at the police for you got mad.
Okay, and you got mad at the police.
It says he was arrested on an outstanding warrant after being stopped by police and cited for driving without a license, without insurance, or not wearing a seatbelt. Okay, and you said that you suffered from historical and generational trauma. You couldn't put no seatbelt on because of the generational trauma.
So she used to breaking the law. She used to breaking the law, huh?
You could.
That's why she could stand up and say that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she could stand up and say that.
But how is you? This is my my thing, right? I know generational trauma.
Hold on, though. Wait a minute. I gotta hear that again. Can you please tell me again? Bring that again with this lady. Let me see if this lady then. Hold on. Can you please tell me again?
After her 18th birthday in March 2009, Fuentes was charged with stealing less than $300 from a movie theater where she worked. And then April 2010, she was arrested on an outstanding warrant after being stopped by police and cited for driving without a license, without insurance, and not wearing a seatbelt. Okay? And she says that she's a product of a family that suffered from historical and generational trauma.
Wow.
And now it's an older person, and ran on that as part of the reason why you should be an older person, because you had this trauma as a child growing up, and that qualifies you to be able to be an older person.
But that's because out of the 55,000 people that live in the 26th ward, only 9,000 went out to vote.
Oh, only 9,000. So we had to, so we have to make sure they know who this lady is.
Right.
Period. It's no way she should be in that
and
seat.
Encourage them to vote. Encourage them to vote for a Republican that's going to run against her.
Yeah, only Republican. It has to be a Republican.
Yes. You see that? So they just out here just reckless, doing what they want to do, huh? Just reckless.
You anybody can be an alderman.
Anybody.
You want to be an alderman? Hey, you want to be an alderman?
Just say you got a community, you come from a grassroots movement. You are a community organizer. You're for affordable housing. You're for anti-gentrification.
Say those things. Say all those politically correct things, like the same thing that we see when people come down there and read that script. When they at the mic, right, and they be the people that they brought in for an organization or brought in for a group, and they all come depending on what the topic is.
Right.
And they have a script where they making the same talking points. It's the same thing that you're seeing with some of these alderpersons. As we continue doing our famous Friday, you're going to see a common thread between some of these aldermen. And that these organizer, activists, and seeing when you don't know politics.
Now
you got to do. You got to do what Mayor Johnson telling you to do, or what anybody else is telling you to do, because you don't understand politics. You don't know how to present a strong opposition to what it is that he's trying to do. You don't know how to challenge it. We saw that with the bringing in the illegals. Nobody down there ever challenged Brandon Johnson in terms of the constitutionality behind it. What constitutional right gave them the right to push out American citizens, make us uncomfortable, to take on a bunch of freeloaders, all the way to the point of making the city go into bankruptcy?
That's right.
What was the Constitution? They're supposed to be the legislation body of the city. They are the lawmakers, and none of them challenged.
And
about the legalities of what he was doing.
Well, you got to
understand.
They get $1.5 million for their ward. They get 140. Well, she's going to be getting 145,000 if they pass the budget. Okay. And they pay. They chief of staff. They chief of staff getting good money too. 8,000, 9,000. You know, all. So yeah. So I mean, come on, to do nothing, to sit in
to do nothing.
It is budget season right now. It should be, like Ms. Jessica said earlier, it should be mandatory that every alderman is in there.
It's there. It should be mandatory.
Every alderman got us in this rut.
That's your job.
We $1.2 billion in the deficit. Brandon Riley has asked y'all, it's going on 3 weeks now, for the I want to see the new arrivals. I want to see how much money they spent.
That's what I want to see.
Oh,
That's what I want to see.
He's asked
That's what I want to see.
Nobody still hasn't received it. Alderperson, he just put something together, but he talks out two sides of his mouth because he know he going to jail. I know he going to jail because he just stole some money. So he's trying to figure it out. But they don't know what to do. You got Annette Guzman, who is the head of the budget. She don't know what to do. You got a mayor who's walking around that's talking about I'm making investments in Southside. I just made 20. He'd love to do this right here. You understand? You're not making no investments. Now you're trying to raise bag tax from 7 cents to 10 cents. Surcharge for lifts from it used to be. They would only have a surcharge for the business going down during the business like Monday through Friday. Now they're gonna do it all weekend. And then there's one other one that they are proposing. And then the $68 million tax hike. Oh, the streaming services, services. But has yet to talk about all of these people. He has 9 deputy mayors.
Yeah, his staff. His staff. That's what they need to cut their checks.
Yeah,
cut all the checks. Start with you too.
His advisor they found out he voted in Texas.
Right.
He's supposed to. He live here. This is who's running the city of Chicago.
The largest, one of the largest cities.
Third largest. So this is what. So we need our followers to understand that we're going starting with Jessie Fuentes. If you live in the 26th ward, okay, I need you. If you live in the 26th ward, you have to start finding some other people.
Yes.
To run against Jessica Fuentes. Jessica Fuentes she doesn't care about the ward, okay? She cares about being the first LGBTQ queer Latina to hold the position. She's glad that she literally broke glass ceilings last night when she won. She's happy that, she was endorsed by Alderman Roberto Maladona, whatever that last name is. They say he was trash as well. It's time to bring a Republican alderman to the 26th ward. Okay?
It's time.
It's time.
It's time. And how you know it's time.
Do not
and how you know it's time.
As a Democrat, we do not care. We don't come. Don't ask us anything about Democrat. The Democratic Party is done. Okay? This is a lady who's about to get $145,000 if they pass this budget, which they should not pass this budget. They shouldn't pass the budget. But are they going to pass the budget? We're dealing with a bunch of weirdos down there. Like Miss Jessica said, there are a bunch of losers down there. We have a loser mayor. We have a loser corporate council. We have it's just losers all around the board. I've never seen. It's just the city hall is just a loss. It's a loss. The chambers is a loss. This is a waste of time. They don't know. They are the worst to ever do it. I ain't never seen nothing like this. Have you seen anything like this, Miss Jessica? You have worked in. You are accountant for one of the largest school districts in the United States of America. You were there when Compton and Inglewood was Compton and Inglewood. So you saw all this before. You saw it already. Like what do we need to do so Chicago cannot look like, because it's already starting to get a little bit. You seen the tent city over there by Lake Shore? Yeah, the tent all on. Yeah. So like, and it's getting run by we're getting run in the ground by socialists They have no idea what they're doing.
No idea.
Yeah, no
what they're
idea
doing.
what they're doing. Do not care about the United States. I really feel like it's a vendetta. They run it like it's a vendetta against America. They so like that. It's get back.
Yeah, it's an anti-America agenda. That's why I keep saying that's why I said we got to put these Democrats in the corner, you all, for 20 or 30 years, because they keep trying to push this anti-American agenda on us.
Yeah, it's literally treason.
It's treason. It's literally treason. That's exactly what it is.
And everybody's watching.
And the inadequacies, excuse me, the inadequacies of City Hall is going to show up when Trump gets in office. That's when it's going to show up, because now you're not going to operate in a government where there's no opposition, where the only thing that's happening is that we're getting the immigrants in, and you're able to just hide behind the big picture that's really happening.
Right.
Trump, if you really can stop him, now we're gonna show the type of skills you got to actually do that.
You're not getting no funding.
Show the skills. Now it's gonna be the time, because it's real easy to just stand up and say this and say that when the real puppet masters are behind you. See, Jessie Fuentes ain't running nothing. It's the white boy puppet masters that want that area the way they want that area. Now, she's going to should be able to show what she's really made of if she can stop that from happening. Can she stop the federal government from doing what they want to do in that ward? Because, see, they propped her up as the first LGBTQ anti-gentrification, defund the police. Okay. Now show how what you ran on, what you about. How can that stop the new federal government?
Right.
They can't even brunch here. This little bit of her area, this little bit.
They not gonna tell Brandon Johnson to stop.
Yeah, they not gonna be able to do nothing with this. With
and
Trump.
they're gonna tell Trump and the border czar to stop and ICE to stop.
I will tell you this. They asked Alderman Lopez asked Mary Richardson Lowry on Wednesday about Trump, about the border and about the border czar coming here and doing his job. Will they stop him and stuff like that? And Mary Richardson Lowry said we will be we will be going with the law. Anything we will be going with the law. I bet you will be going with the law.
I bet you will be going with the law.
To go with the law. You're gonna start going to law with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
With the law, with our cases. Y'all gonna start with our cases. You're gonna see the 14th Amendment being violated in both of our cases.
Right.
You understand? The 5th Amendment, the eminent domain, the scheme that you guys been running for so long.
Civil rights violations for housing.
Civil rights violations. Because there's one thing about the Republican Party. I don't care what nobody say. Like I said, that racism stuff, I care less about that.
Yeah,
that Constitution is their Bible.
It's their Bible. That's it.
And that's all I care about.
That's all I care about too.
When I came into this, I didn't look at black and white. I looked at the 5th Amendment. They violated my mom's, the 5th Amendment, and they violated the 14th Amendment. I didn't look at color. I didn't look at black. I was like, oh yeah, this should be easy. Then I realized, oh, this is Chicago. And then what me and Miss Jessica realized, was it Wednesday night? That this is the law department.
That's the law department. Wednesday night.
It's the law department.
So
it was the worst thing you ever laid eyes on. It was, and it answered every question that we thought we had. Yeah. This is the law department. This is the law department, and these are the aldermen. These are the aldermen, and many of them.
Jessie Fuentes wasn't even at the law department budget meeting.
How is this your job and you getting paid all this money, and you're not mandatory to be at important meetings. And
the only people that I've seen there consistently, honestly, is Lopez and Riley, O'Shea, Quinn,
Leigh,
Conway, Irvin, because he got to be there. Leigh too, because she got to be there because she chair.
Mitchell had to be there.
Mitchell, Tyler Farrell popping.
So these people just
when it comes to, like, honestly,
I think that's pretty much it.
I'm gonna be quite honest. Black people, I mean, what's her name been there a few times?
Who? Monique Scott.
Jeanette Taylor, she'll wobble in. You know. For
a few minutes.
Coleman will pull up and smile and show her Gucci belt and leave out. Pat Dow. Pat Dow's in there. All ones.
Yeah, Pat Dow's is in there. Yeah, Pat Dow's in there.
Pat Dow's in there. But that's it.
Yeah,
David Moore.
Yeah, slow more.
So we have to definitely, these people just think they just, like, they work for, they
Michelle Harris, she don't have to work no more.
Because I don't even see, that's what I think. So these people really think that we work for them. Like, they really don't understand that they work for us.
They're used to they're used to, a pothole. Somebody may need a tree cutter. Somebody may need a new trash can or something like that. But to actually come there with a problem, an issue. No. Like, they need a manual. Like, oh no, I ain't know this now. I'm taking bribes, giving lots and stuff away to the white developers and stuff to keep their campaign money going. But this is not like somebody coming up there. Like I said, we're going on 2 years. Like, we almost at an alderman term.
They have put themselves for whatever reason and by way of whatever method, a lot of those aldermen, and I don't think it's just the black ones.
Oh yeah, Curtis.
I think it's serious. I think that they have a lot of them, for one reason or the other, have put themselves in a position where they really, quote unquote, can't do nothing with no real problem. For whatever reason, they have put themselves in a position that they cannot challenge these judges. No, what I'm saying, whatever, if it's by way of stealing, if it's by way of kickback, if it's by way of favors, if it's by way of nepotism, if it's by way of whatever. What I'm saying is they have put themselves in a position where that when someone comes down there with a problem that's other than a pothole or a tree being trimmed, they really, like they say, ain't nothing we could do. Ain't nothing we could do.
The cycle has been like, there's some people in there that parents have been locked up for corruption. You understand? And then, or have been in the daily thing. Daily ran that. You understand? So these are the new generation of corruptness. You understand? To keep the machine, incompetent.
But they're incompetent. Because Chicago always been corrupt. Been corrupt. But they were able to do stuff where the city still was able to run, though. This group that's in there now, they do trying to still do the corrupt thing, which they clearly are through this immigration. But at the end, housing. But they're incompetent.
They're incompetent.
But they're incompetent. But I'm saying that was the goal. The goal was to move in for this new corrupt, but they can't because they slow. They dumb.
They dumb.
They dumb. Like, I know that, like, the old, like Tony Preckwinkle. Tony Preckwinkle's so mad that the machine's still not running. The machine done because you got these incompetent, slow idiots on top of social media now. So you really can put them out there. They still working with a 60-year-old system in Chicago.
That's right.
A 60-year-old, so they don't even have an up-to-date system in there because they keep the corruption going, right? And then I've also learned too, they hurry up and get a person out of office. You know, move a person around, move a person somewhere else. So they got to find somebody. No. To do that, to try to like distract it and change it and stuff. Well, that person wasn't there. That person's gone already. I don't care. It's still the same department.
Right. And the same entity.
Yeah. The same entity. Yes. So, in conclusion,
Jessica,
I think we should have everyone should, because this is our first one. So what is our one?
Do they have any questions?
Huh?
Do they have any questions about Jessie for
Wednesday? Any questions? I know they say Greg Mitchell is useless too.
We'll get to making him famous. We got to get the name out the hat. We got to do them one at a time by way of, pulling their names. This is our first one.
Taylor said that she waited 30 years for Section 8.
Who?
Somebody said Jeanette Taylor said she waited 30 years for Section 8.
Oh, man. So is this something that they didn't know about this, about Jessie, that, is this something that you all didn't know, that this lie helped you to find out and uncover? Ask them, do they
everybody's saying hi, Miss Jessica. Hi, Jessica. Love you, Jessica. California, Jessica. From UK, Jessica. Love you, Jessica. Hey, Danny C. Love you, Danny.
Tell everybody I love them too.
Tupac Lover says, why keep pushing red on black people when they have proven they don't like us either?
The Democrat Party?
It's always one.
Because here's a quick answer. Here's a quick answer. It's not about liking anybody. It's about understanding that we are Americans and we need access to a government.
Right.
It's not about anybody liking us. You have friends to like you.
I don't like none of these politicians.
You don't like your boss.
Right.
Most of us don't like our bosses. But we show up to those jobs because we understand the need for employment. We understand the need for money. Life has nothing to do with it except for when you're talking about what friends that you choose. You choose your friends based on who you like. Right now, we're talking about which party aligns with what it is that we need as a group. Right now, the Republican Party aligns with our need to not have illegal immigration to this capacity in the country. And Republican Party, have the power, the authority to do it. Black people do not have the authority to go out there and stop these planes, these buses from coming. We just simply on our own as a group don't have that power. But the government does. And this wing of government says, stop the illegal immigration. This wing of government says, bring down the cost of living. This wing of government says, stop some of these wars. This wing of government says, we don't want transgenders in the girls' sports and we don't want to share same bathrooms. We want parents to have the right to say what they need to say about their children and what their children are introduced to. That's what we like.
That's right.
We don't know those people no more than those people know us. But what I like is that they have the ideology to close the border so that I can be publicly safe.
Right.
I mean, if you don't understand that, you don't know what you need, because of black people are not, even if we get an independent party, we're not going to be nowhere except for still over there on Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. Simply because our taxes go towards the government.
That's right.
So why continue to pay taxes and not demand anything from your government?
Your government. That's
And
crazy.
that is the problem. Like, I didn't get in this. Like I tell people all the time, I didn't like it was my thing was I got in it because they put my mother in the hospital. Then while I'm in here fighting, I'm also seeing like, okay, the Democratic Party is just trash. Like this is I ain't never like this is just insane. And my thing is, yeah, this is just insane. And then I also was dealing with a separate case with the Delta case, right? My Delta case, I sued off the First Amendment in Georgia and won. I had a Republican judge. Okay, they tried to dismiss it. That white Republican judge lady said, no, you violated the First Amendment. She broke that down and stuff like that.
Constitution,
so that's all I knew. You understand? It was anything. It wasn't about no sexual orientation or anything.
That's right.
They legit violated the First Amendment. I broke it down to her. They tried to dismiss it. She told them no, she's right, and broke that down and broke down the Constitution for them. So and now then fast forward, I'm here trying to explain the same thing to these people about the Fifth Amendment and the 14th Amendment, and they're looking at me like, well, no, we got police powers. We can knock buildings down anytime. What are you talking about?
Right.
What are you talking about? Yeah. You go in a meeting, you see fraudulent documents with the person who signed the fraudulent document, and they can just get up and go away, walk away with no type of recourse, no type of discipline, no type of stopping the issue. The Democrats are too soft on crime. Is that what the problem is? Is that the reason why you can't get these judges? Because this being soft on crime, you have to have a society of law and order.
Yeah, the
Bible even says God does everything decently and in order.
Yeah, they have been making money off of our oppression. I've noticed that.
That's what it is.
The bare minimum.
They need
the Section 8, the welfare, the Obamacare was trash, Affordable Care Act that was trash. And my thing is, they feel like if you get a little bit of that, the Republicans trying to take that away. And the Republicans trying to take Social Security away. Like I say all the time, I need people that use common sense.
I need people that are reading.
All these white older men that played into that Social Security for a very long time in Florida, Georgia, all that. You think they're gonna take Social Security away?
Come on.
Like I know the illegals should not have no access to Social Security. There's some people that want to literally live off the government that can fully get a job, can fully do things. Like that's the problem. So I'm anti. Why are you living off the government? Why are you living off the government and you 30 years old? Why are you living off the government and you got 10 kids and you keep having kids so you can keep your voucher? What?
Right.
Yeah. So to sit here and say that the Republican Party don't like us, what are you talking about? We haven't even given them a chance. How are you gonna tell me how they don't like me when we don't give them even a vote? This is my first time coming over there, and guess what? It's looking pretty good to me.
It's looking great.
It's looking great, and I will tell you this. And I will tell you this, real talk. When I went to that rally, that Trump rally in Wisconsin, a week or two before the election, that rally was super white. I mean, white. Like they say, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, WASP. They just white. But I will tell you this, I felt more comfortable there. Because first of all, those people were extremely friendly. They were very friendly. Why? Because first of all, they are about America.
That's right.
They love their country. They love their country. They weren't being anti-black. They were being pro-America.
Right. That's it.
Now, number two, during that program, I kept hearing Trump say, the problem now is we have people in charge of America that don't love America. That is true. That is true. That is true.
Yes, it is.
That is true. They want the opportunity that America provides, but they don't love the principles of America.
Yes.
And the principles of America is the Constitution.
That's right.
Which is based on biblical principles.
That's right.
That's America. They want to come over here and they want to infiltrate our government with the thinking of their government, when in fact they won't stand and make those changes in their own country.
Right.
They want to take advantage of the fact that America has those rights because of the struggle of America, mainly Black Americans.
Mm-hmm.
They want to jump in on that, but they don't want to fight their own government. And it's crazy to me to see them come over here like Jessie Fuentes, put her weight down, sanctuary city or not. These buses gonna keep coming. Go there in your country. Go to Venezuela and tell them that.
Yes, go to Puerto Rico. Go to Puerto Rico and get that trash out of that water.
Go over there. Go over there and take that same energy over there.
How you gonna come and tell American
citizens because they need help too?
That this is what y'all gonna get and this is what y'all gonna take. Okay, we're gonna take you right up out of that seat. So let's what about that? Anybody
what about that? Because we need the citizens to go first. Yes. We need America to go first. This is where our money goes.
Right.
So it's unfortunate that you think it's about life, because I went to several stores today, and I doubt that the reason why I paid what I paid had anything to do with whether those establishments liked me or not. It had more to do with they had a product that I wanted.
That's right. That's right.
And they had a price set for it, and I had the means to get it. It had more to do with that.
Right.
Than if Mr. Macy's liked me, or if I liked Mr. Macy's.
Right.
I can guarantee you that.
Exactly. And the crazy thing is too, when I go into a place and I feel like I'm not treated right, when I just spent my money,
right.
What I know what to do, I know how to find the CEO email, and I like to say, to whom it may concern. I just said da 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 da. I did it with the Popeyes. Yeah, I don't play. I don't play. Yeah. I go straight to the top. That's why I don't understand this situation. See, I went to the top. I went to Kamala Harris, chief of staff. I went to Biden's chief of staff. I went to the federal attorney general, Merrick Garland, Christian Clark. I went down to the state, Kwame Raoul. I went to the federal inspector general, Michael Horowitz. I went to the state attorney general, Susan Halen. I went to Deborah Witzberg. Okay, I went to my alderman. I went to my commissioner. I went to Tony Preckwinkle. I went to the mayor.
Look at that.
What you do? What's the next thing?
What's the next step?
We had to go. That's what I'm saying too. For the person who said, why did y'all go over there to the red? They don't like y'all. This is what I do know. This is what I do know. This city gave me no choice.
No choice.
It gave me no choice. It gave me no choice. I need help with a solution to my problem. And like Joey just said, we took all those steps. We took all those steps. Only to get all the way as high as we can get, and everybody still comes back with the same thing, up to and including Wednesday with the law department. Ain't nothing you can do. These people are really, if I don't have Trump's administration involved, these people down at City Hall straight gonna let my property get taken illegally, and they know that they don't have no grounds to take it. Every single person in there knows it, but they are too much of a Democrat to go against another Democrat to stop this nonsense. They are letting this go on and on and on and on. Yes, I'm going to the Republican Party, because for the first time in history, I said it the other day at public speaking, and I'm going to say it here again, and I'm going to keep saying it, because this is the first time in the history of the United States of America where a Black person can go to the judicial system, and that president understands all too well about the corruption of the court.
Yes.
You don't have to twist his arm. You don't have to sit up there and try to make him see, for black people, because he didn't know, because they did it to him, and he's a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
That's right. They did.
He's as white can get, and this country did it to him. With the judicial system. So we need to take advantage of it.
He ran for president.
All because he
ran for the president. We need to take full advantage of this. We need to take full advantage of a president. And I'm 62 years old, and I have never, ever, ever heard a president say that black people built this country until it came out of Donald Trump's mouth. Donald Trump had a platinum plan for Black America, not for minorities, not black and brown, not the disenfranchised, not the people of color. No, that platinum plan was for black people, and he put $500 billion on it. Show me where in City Hall, when just one time, where any black person stood up and said, give black people their money. Not one time. Not one time.
Not one time.
So yeah, I'm going to get some help. I'm going to where I do not have to convince this person that is the most powerful person in the United States of America and the world. The president of the United States is the most powerful president on the planet, in the world. I'm going to him.
Right.
Because the judicial system told him lies, came after him wrongfully. Why would I not take advantage of every black person who has ever felt that the judicial system has done them wrong, be it in the criminal courts or be it in civil courts? Why would you not take advantage of this opportunity? Why would you not? If you got a president that's talking about deporting these illegals, get them out of here, and he got a plan for black employment, why would you not get behind him?
Why would you not
get behind him? To the Democratic Party rally, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it would have been more black people in there. It would have been diversified. But after I got past the skin, everything else would have made me completely uncomfortable, because I'm not with their agendas. I don't want to go in the bathroom there and a man is in the next stall. I don't want to sit there all night long and listen to rhetoric like Michelle Obama talking about nobody got the monopoly on citizenship. Black people do. Black people do. I don't want to listen to that nonsense all night long. And though those people would have been in the same complexion as me, their agenda, their political interests would not have been in line with me as an individual. So the Republican rally was lily white. It was plenty white. But those people were very, very nice. I didn't feel like I was getting ready to get canned to death. I didn't feel out of place at all, because you know why? Because I was with Americans, and everybody in that room wanted America to go first. And all those people, tons of them, came up to me, recognizing me from YouTube, being on at City Hall, and recognizing the work that we're doing for the Republican Party and for America.
That's right.
And for our citizens. And they were very thankful, grateful for it. They thanked me over and over about it. And I'm going to tell you this. I bet you the people that I've met while I was down there at that rally, I bet you they're helping me. I bet you they putting stuff together for me. I bet you they reaching out to Trump for me. I bet you they are. I bet you they are. Because one thing about it, white people not scared to take on white people. If you wrong, you wrong.
We have no black representation on the Democratic
Party.
From the federal to the state to the local, we have no representation.
We need to take advantage of this moment, black people.
Nobody can't convince me otherwise. I'm 2 years straight. I have seen
you just named the chain of command that we went up.
And don't write, but you got a bunch of black faces. You got a bunch of black faces over there.
That's making that type of money that Jessica is making. Some making more.
That's right. You got a
So
bunch of black faces,
and they
but
tell
you
you
can't get
stuff like
nothing
these
done.
public servants, they running on certain things, and you go to them, you want to get a lawyer for that. I don't know. That's crazy. Or
And
you
look how
sure you
many
paid your
lawyers are in City
taxes?
Hall. Look how many lawyers are in City Hall.
Yeah.
They can't do nothing, y'all.
Can't do nothing.
But they can't do nothing. And they can't do nothing. They looking at a document that's got fraudulent information on it by another public official. Right. They can't do nothing.
Can't do
They
nothing.
can't do nothing. They can't do nothing. They trying.
They're not going against their people. Yeah, they not going against. They not going. They Democrats. They not going to go.
Democrats. Yeah. It's a one-tier system here. So when you say, "Why are we going to the Republican Party?" Because I got the good understanding to see that we need opposition down there. We need
opposition. That's it. That's it. You need the opposition.
Them black Democrats like Maxine Ward and stuff, those are House Negroes.
All day.
They cannot do nothing. And it's time. It's time.
Yes.
It's time.
They won't do nothing.
They won't do nothing. And I'm not going to sit here and give them. They're done. They're done.
They're done.
It's personal. It's personal.
Yeah.
There's no way in the world. Yeah. We ain't got nothing in common. If that's what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't stand to see our city look like this. You know, to walk downtown and to see them women with them kids out there, just making our city look like a third world country like this. I mean, you can't believe it. You can't believe it because you already know that only thing this is going to do is lead to the lessening of the quality of life here.
Yes,
it's not going to be for our benefit. It's just horrible. And and when you think about like what we know to be true, which is our parents we were the migrants. Our parents that came from the South and came to the Midwest and made Chicago what it is.
What is that? So he said, "Are you guys gonna have question and answer time?"
Yeah, if you got a question, put it there so we can answer it. Yeah, we would love that.
So, anybody got any questions? Right now we're waiting.
So Jessie, yes, that's y'all alderman, Jessie.
Fuentes. This is her first and last.
Her first and last. We had to get her up out of that seat. She has to go.
She doesn't care. She doesn't care for the city. She doesn't care for the city.
She doesn't care about anti-gentrification. She don't care about kids.
She don't care about the city.
Brown. None of that. She don't care about the police. They shooting and killing in 26 wards. She don't care. She don't care. To work. She don't care. She don't do nothing. All she do is look like Jimmy Neutron, and that's it. She just don't care. Okay. Her whoever is her barber do that. You got she got a slick barber.
You said Jimmy Neutron. Yeah. Why did you say Jimmy Neutron?
Yes, she don't do nothing else. She look like something like from Greece or something. Like,
Greece. Greece.
How that face go?
Huh?
Her face.
Yeah.
Yeah, she like Greek, like somebody from Greece, but she'll have a cigarette in her mouth and that. Yeah.
She a leather jacket.
Yeah.
Baby. Has Jessie Fuentes been confronted for stealing the history of American descendants of slavery to become alderman?
All of them down there trying to do that, but we definitely would confront them about it. You know, all of them down there trying to do what? Take the history of the American descendants of slavery. All of them down there trying to do it. And that's the reason why we have to show up and we have to push back.
That's right.
Because that's exactly what they're trying to do. That's what I mean by taking our plight and using it.
Yeah. That's exactly. That's hit. You just hit it right there on the nut. You hit it right there on the head.
Because they have nothing. They have nothing, so they have to.
Where's their hero?
Yeah, they have nothing. That's why
Where's their hero? Where's the law that they fought for?
And then you got stupid people like Jeanette Taylor, Lamont Robbins, I mean, the Robinson dude, the Yancey, all them with the black and brown and all that.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. But y'all can't help the actual black people.
The black people.
Y'all can't even get an ordinance
for a black people.
Yancey's ordinance been sitting in there since September 23? The South Side ordinance since September 23, and look at all the ordinances that have gotten passed through others and everything for Hispanics, and he ain't get nothing except for that little one for Haitians. What is that saying?
$1 million question. Where is Kwame Raoul?
The $1 million question.
Where?
And you know what? And you know what? What's crazy, y'all? Everybody you talk to has the same response.
Where is?
Yeah, where is Kwame Raoul? I can't find him either.
Now, Kwame Raoul came out. Jessie Fuentes had an event this summer, and Kwame Raoul came out, sat next. Took a picture with her stuff. So, Jessie Fuentes.
What?
Yeah.
Jessie Fuentes, can you please find Kwame Raoul?
Yeah.
These people gotta go. These people gotta
go.
They just playing in our faces.
Kwame Raoul.
They just playing in our faces, man.
Yeah. They playing in our faces.
It's time for her to go. All you see is gum.
If you want to save your seat, Jessie Fuentes, bring Kwame Raoul Monday. Deliver him to us Monday. You know him.
You said
you anti-gentrification.
Yeah.
You say you don't want people pushed out. They trying to push me out.
Right.
You got a picture with him because I don't even know nobody who got a picture with that nigga. So now, bring him to the front of the church.
Bring him to the front of the congregation.
Come on, bring him to the front of the congregation, like Anton Daniel say. Come on.
Yes, right. Like Anton say, bring him to the front of the congregation.
Yeah, come on. Because we sure looking for him. We done sent him letters. We done filed complaints with the Civil Rights Division. Tyler Farrow then wrote on my behalf looking for him. Commissioner Bill Laurie claimed he been calling him. Alderman Brandon Riley said he trying to find him. Senator Bryant down there in Springfield looking for him.
Right.
And y'all wonder why we sit up there and vote.
Yep.
Let
me see. It's back to school season, and our office has information and resources on how to keep kids safe. Senior outreach Skip Gonsalves recently staffed the table at an event hosted by Alderman Jessie Fuentes of the 26th Ward. Ooh, smiling.
You all, if you all don't.
That was August 27th.
You all, if you all don't come open y'all ass up to what's going on, these people playing in our face and making all this money to do it, don't have a clue of what they're doing, but getting paid off our stupidity, off our ignorance.
Says, in what ways has the Illinois Republican helped flip Chicago red? And what candidates do you have prep for the alder seats for? We're not going to tell you about the candidates because that's our situations. We do that. And as far as what ways has the Illinois Republican helped flip Chicago red? We flip Chicago red.
We the Republicans.
Yeah, we flipped Chicago. People wasn't even Illinois. Right. They had no hope. We gave them hope.
Right. But now as it pertains to the Springfield Republicans, when me, Carter, and Michael Bay went down to Springfield about that school board initiative where Brandon Johnson wanted to change the school board into the hybrid school board and stuff, when we went down there, let this be clear. Every Republican voted in support of what we wanted. The Democrats down there that voted against it. Let's be clear. Springfield, Illinois is quote unquote the land of Lincoln.
Right.
The great emancipator. What we need to figure out is what happened. What happened that would make the state that emancipated us, the president that's named after the state that emancipated us and named it. How did this city become so anti us?
Yup.
How did it go from that? How did it go from being the land of Lincoln, the person who emancipated us, to the place where we don't have anything? You want to say, what have the Republicans done for us? Let me tell you what they have not done for us. They haven't given us all these empty lots in our community.
Right.
They haven't given us all these abandoned buildings. They haven't given us all these ran down schools. How about that?
They haven't put all 21 million illegals in our neighborhoods.
Come on, can we talk, Danny?
They haven't did. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What are you all really talking about here?
They don't know. They don't know. Question: what has Jesse Jackson Sr. and his son, who is a current sitting congressional member of Congress, said or done regarding all this?
Didn't he come over there to South Shore? Didn't he come over there to the South Shore Country Club and went up and gave a whole presentation on why it is that immigration is taking place, for us to understand where this infiltration is coming from, why it's happening, that Jesse Jackson Jr., right? Over there at the South Shore Country Club, because Tyrone and them was there.
Was it Jonathan Jackson?
Yeah, over there at the country club. Yeah, and it was packed. And he did that presentation explaining how it is that all these illegals are coming here. And so that's what they've done. They've come and offered up an explanation as to why it is that we need to accept this in our neighborhoods and why we need to accept this as Americans. That's what they've done.
Right.
They need to go.
And I seen we've seen Jesse Jackson, and Jesse Jackson's he has a, I don't know what that is. Is his caretaker, but some reverend
or something.
Some reverend he told us to contact this person. When we start talking about our housing and the issue with that, first they said, you know, they didn't know what they could do, and then next thing he said, well, no, they set up a meeting, and then I'm trying to get the email now, and then they said, I'm sorry, Minister, Reverend Jesse Jackson, he's not taking any more meetings right now. And then the following, like maybe about a month later, what's that lady? Jason Lee's mom passed away, and they flew him down to Texas to be down there with Al Sharpton and the rest of them.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
They don't told me, and he told me when I talked to him that Jesse Jackson's coalition didn't have any type of program or any type of services that dealt with the issue of Black people's property being taken. Again, if you were looking for needing low-income housing, subsidized housing, that type of stuff, he was ready. But when you talk about this thing of our property being taken, what we own, he had nothing for that. And just like Zoe, I never got a follow-up call.
Yeah, never got a follow-up. So that's how that works. Now, I saw Jesse Jackson Jr. At this Wayfair, was a Waymaker event this summer, and he was there talking. He was talking about how we have to stay together, we have to stick together, and we have to vote for Kamala, because Kamala, and I just walked up out of there. That's how I met David. The best thing about Waymaker is I met David.
You met David. That's all.
I met David, and he seen how pissed off I was at the mayor, because I'm like, he just in there lying to these boys, lying to them, and that's what made him come over to me, because he said, "Man, he is lying." I said, "Lying like a motherfucker." So these people, they don't do anything.
That's what I'm saying. These the people that we need to go throw away in the corner and let them be. We gotta have like you said, us. We the new, those you right there, throw them away. Vaccine waters, like you said, Claiborne, all of them, throw them away. It's over for them.
We need some knowledgeable politicians to come into City Hall now. We don't need more of what we got.
No.
What is that? Is that another question, Zoe?
Yeah, it says Chicago Flip Red, an official organization. I voted Red for the presidential election, and the Chicago Flip Red is growing in numbers so that we can help push out the mayor and governor. My end goal is for a political PAC to help push out the number, help push these people out, and also get candidates, but also legislation. We don't have legislation. So yes, I'm working on it to be a political PAC, but it needs to be. We need legislation. If we do not get legislation, we will never get anywhere, and we'll still continue to be squirming down here and not understanding, not knowing, and honestly getting people more involved in the U.S. Constitution. Because what I've realized is that a lot of us, including them 50 aldermen in there, do not know nothing about that Constitution.
Now, if they known that Constitution, or either had they had respect for the Constitution, they would have never done the things that they're doing. They would have never violated our civil rights to the extent that they've done, that they did as citizens when they moved these illegals in here like this. They would have never done it if there was any type of respect for the Constitution.
I'm still looking for a t-shirt, Flip Chicago Red. Where can I go? UncomfortableTruthLifestyle.com. And I think I've sent that to you 10 speed like 3 times. But or you go to Chicago, allhandsondeck@gmail.com, and I can send you the link. But it's UncomfortableTruthLifestyle at UncomfortableTruthLifestyle.com. But we are working on a website now. Actually, it's being worked on now, ChicagoFlipsRed.com, and it'll be on there. So, thank you, 10 Speedy Gonzalez.
Thank you.
Do we have any more questions?
Someone said, "How come that no one is helping?"
What does it say?
How come no one is helping?
Because we're in the Democrat machine.
Talking about our property. I mean, with our properties.
Like
for the reasons that we've been talking about all evening.
No opposition, or
right, no
it's a Democrat.
And then Danny, look, let's answer her question. Let's answer this person's question. You got to look at right now, excuse me. One reason why they're not helping us is because right now, as a party, as a Democratic Party, they are on this corporate agenda, this corporate growth of wanting to own. They don't have any respect, or they don't have any support for the individual private owners.
Right.
This is the reason why they're doing things like that. Story that was on WGN last summer, where they had that attorney, that real estate attorney, who had taken 150 seniors' houses illegally through illegal reverse mortgages. And it's my understanding that he had gotten in trouble about that before. Okay, you looking over here where that story that Dorothy Tucker just did not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, about an 83-year-old woman that lives over here in South Shore, that's been in her home for 51 years. And she was saying about how it's just straight up harassment now, that every time she goes out her door, people are hounding her about selling her property. The investors are. That every time she goes to her mailbox, it's gobs of investment propaganda in her mailbox. You know, right now, it's a push. The Democratic Party is not promoting private ownership. They're not promoting individual and private citizens to own. This is why they keep pushing this thing about affordable housing, subsidized housing, low income housing. They want more of a government
but a government
right. So that's the answer on a big scale. It has nothing to do with what our cases lack or what our cases don't have. We have solid cases. This is about the Democratic Party has an agenda for corporate investments, government. They don't support the private owners. That's why they never talk about it. When we're down there in City Hall, they don't have programs for first-time home buyers and stuff like that, unless you look at the fine print. It's something connected to the city. You can be on low income for a while and then use the city to help you get a house. Everything that they do, the government somehow is connected to it. They don't allow you, just like what you said, Zoe, about the tenant proposal that she had, that's saying that rather than let the investments buy it, give the people who there an opportunity to buy it first before the investors come in. The fact that you bring them into the same conversation.
Well, that's right. Yeah. The fact you bring them to the same conversation with us. That's so true. That's it.
That's why. That's the answer to that question, because the Democratic Party is not promoting private ownership
or the working. Yeah, they just not for the working class and middle class. They not for that. They not for it.
They not for it.
Next question
is poor or rich.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, they
don't.
Society. It's big business. It's the American way. The Democratic way. It's a Democratic way.
It's a Democratic way.
They say that the Republican Party talk about tax the rich and all that and all this. That's them.
That's them.
That's them.
Like they say, it's like being in a relationship with somebody that's constantly accusing you of cheating.
Right.
And because they cheating. You ain't cheating, but they cheating. So they constantly accuse you of cheating. That's what the Democratic Party is like. Constantly accusing the Republicans of doing something. They're the ones that's doing it.
All by doing
But they constantly are pointing the finger at the Republican Party. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
All while they doing it.
It says, with all these black union workers, do you think they will learn to buy all the vacant lots before other races do it? I heard these lots are cheap and on the black South Side. Shit, if you can get them.
Yeah, if you can get them. My understanding, one day it was me, Michael Young Bay, and Alderman Monique Scott talking about the program where you can buy a lot for $1. But she was saying about those type of programs, you can get the lot for the $1, but you have to be able to show how you have the resources to build on that lot. Now, my thing is this. Okay, so do you show you got the resources to build on it, and then that's it? Because these empty lots have been over here empty for a long time. So it shouldn't be just that you can buy the lot for $1 and then be able to show that you can build on it, that you have the economics to build on it. It should also be a certain amount of timeline to actually put something on that property, not to just keep it empty where you can get the tax benefit, but it doesn't benefit the community. It keeps the community looking ran down because it's an empty lot.
Yeah, because it's
a scam.
Yeah. This is
yet another
I just feel
scam.
Like every other person gets one step, but we gotta take 10 steps.
Yeah, we gotta take 10 steps.
And then when you ask all the people and the people, they can't tell you. But then when you go into these meetings, they have these letters for support for these developers to put their affordable housing. So they don't know how to do it. They clueless when you ask them. But when you go into these meetings, these developers come in, these $1 billion developers, all they come in here with. We have a letter of support from Alderman Monique Scott. We have a letter of support for Alderman Jeanette Tiller. I don't know how to do it though. So how that's just crazy.
It's just crazy. Yeah. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Is there another question?
Do you guys hold any meetings? How can we get involved? You can email Chicago all hands on deck at gmail.com. Yes, we do every other Thursday. Is Chicago Red and Flip Chicago Red one and the same? Chicago Red is
P-Ray.
And Flip Chicago Red is myself, and we have Danny, Miss Jessica. She for everybody. She for she's we just me and because a lot of people always ask us. So thank you for asking this question. So yes, we all are fighting for the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I support anything that P. Ray does.
Yeah.
I ride with P. Ray. She's a West Sider. So yeah, but Chicago Red, hers is much different organization than mine, but we are all fighting for the same thing. We are all out here for the same thing. And Miss Jessica, she supports us both.
Right.
So yes. Is Trump ever coming to Chicago? I don't mean white Chicago or just the South Side. I mean the Black West Side and particularly Black men. I don't.
We don't make this schedule, but let him get in office first. Let him get in office first. And I don't know, but I don't know. I guess all presidents come to Chicago. I mean, Biden came here. Obama.
But I want to
say I would suspect that would all presidents come to Chicago.
Yeah, but the thing is, a lot of people take a lot of what I don't like when it comes to Trump. When Trump tried to, when he was running for office the first time, and when he tried to land his plane here, they would not let that man.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
They were anti-Trump. They didn't want him here. They were pushing. I remember Ron was trying to get the Trump letters off of the Trump towers down there.
Yep.
It was a lot. So
yeah,
it was a lot. It was anti. He can't come. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah,
so he got in office. Even when he was in office, Chicago still the Rahm Emanuel, Lori Lightfoot, all of them treated him like trash. You
That's
can't
right.
come here. You're not gonna do this. All this is not the same way they're doing now, but this time we're welcoming him here. We don't care nothing about what Brandon Johnson, what Tony Preckwinkle, what Governor Pritzker. Y'all are done. It's over for y'all. Okay, it's done. So we welcoming him here now. He knows that. He understands that. But you got to understand, when he first was running, nobody wasn't messing with him here. It was bad.
And then too, during his campaign, you have to give him credit where credit is due. During his campaign, and despite the past that he had with Chicago, he came here for that NABJ conference. He came. Kamala Harris didn't show up. He came back for that economic club of Chicago. He came back. And so again, this is why he's the president's people.
Yeah.
See, he's the president's people. He's able to rise above the nonsense and focus on the issue at hand. He understands that Chicago is a major city.
Right.
So regardless of whether he gets a lot of the votes here, regardless of whether he gets support here, he understands he still has to govern this city.
Yeah, he's still president.
And he came regardless. Now we're looking to, like Zoe said, let him know that there is a welcoming group here, that everything is not hostile, hostile here for him. But I like the fact that unlike Kamala Harris, when she lost, she didn't even address the people that were there at Howard waiting for her.
Right.
When in fact, that was the whole concept that was supposed to be making her black, is because she went to Howard, because she went to a HBCU. Yes, yet the night of the election, she didn't even address them and left them hanging. That's not a commander in chief. That's not a commander in chief. If you can't deal with a loss, you don't know how to govern your emotions. You're not a commander in chief. Donald Trump knows how to govern his emotions. That's why he can come into Chicago knowing that it's anti-Trump, but still having respect for the people.
Yeah, and a lot of people say, well, he didn't
concede.
Can't see that.
I don't know.
He didn't concede when he lost in 2020. I'm like, it was cheated. He got cheated. Everybody
knows that. But even if
he got cheated.
But even if that's true, how, I don't understand, how does that stop you from moving into the here and the now? I mean, Joe Biden did a 1994 crime bill, and somehow we were able to move into the here and the now and still vote him into office.
President.
Come on. Yeah. Kamala Harris was a mass incarcerator. Somehow we were able to move past that and get behind her as a candidate.
Yeah.
But here it is, Donald Trump, you can't seem to get past whatever happened in 2020. And I don't understand how it is that Black people see whatever happened in 2020 so, as they say, so egregious. It upset them so. I don't understand how it didn't upset them that they didn't see Powerhouse Kamala Harris and Powerhouse Joe Biden, who are mass incarcerators. Why didn't it upset you, Black people, that they didn't lock up all them white folks that charged the Capitol? Why are you not upset about that? I don't get it. Like they say, the selective outrage. I don't get it. You mad that he did that the thing happened, that he didn't concede or he caused the riot, but you're not mad that those two individuals who locked up tons and tons and tons of Black people didn't lock them up for breaking the law?
Right. You not mad at that? Right.
It doesn't even make any sense.
Someone says, how can we find someone to help? So many people are going through losing their homes, is what it sounds like. They need to start coming down to City Hall. They need to start coming down to wherever their City Hall. They need to start writing. The Department of Justice.
Get their documentation. Get their documentation in order.
And start coming down there,
and be willing to untangle whatever mess that the city and county has gotten your property in. You got to be willing to untangle this mess, that whatever it is, you got to be willing to put the work in to get it untangled.
It's like one of them. What's that puzzle? Was it Rubik Cube?
Oh yeah, the Rubik Cube. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Because they're gonna come with you with all types of crazy stuff, and you really have to be you really have to be like, are you correct? Like, stop playing. Like, you really have to stop playing with me. They will switch up words. They will say this. They will say that. You gotta even let them know, like, that's not the law, because they don't know. They just getting paid. Does anyone know why the Chicago Teachers Union supports illegals and boys in the girls' bathroom?
That's two separate questions. Now, the one about the illegals, Zoe, that's that Venezuelan part that you might want to talk about.
Yes, because in 2019, they took a trip to, 4 teachers took a trip to Venezuela, talked to the Nicolas Maduro, that was a Venezuela president, and spoke about what's going on there, and they shared the socialist problems, and next thing you know, Venezuelan kids start coming over here, a whole bunch of them, then when you dig deeper, even with the whole pardon situation, Biden pardoned Nicolas Maduro's wife's nephews from Venezuela. So it's the Venezuelan thing is deep. And people don't talk about it as much, but they're over here. I've been trying to explain to people. One of my friends, she's a school teacher. She said these boys. She says a lot of boys. There's not many Venezuelan girls that's in school. It's a lot of Venezuelan boys, and they're coming in and marching like some soldiers. So my thing is,
it's something to that.
Things and stuff, but that's it. But money.
Yeah.
They get money for these kids and stuff like that. That's why they're fighting for more money, because they don't use majority of the CTU money, because they're using CTU like a political PAC instead of using it
for a teaching entity.
Teaching. So that's why. So the more them come over here, the more legals come over here, the more money that they can get. And as far as supporting, the boys and girls bathroom, that's just a Democratic. That's just their another fight, another useless fight to continue this weird propaganda to basically say that we accept all people, and basically trying to force something that is weird, and that and I don't know. Like I said, Democratic Party turned to a science project. That's all I can say. Yeah, I don't know if you want to say anything about that, Ms. Jessica.
No, I think you summed it up perfectly. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, that they're like trying to stop the population growth. But then how can that be if they letting these illegals come over here with babies in their belly?
Right.
So you don't know what to make of it. You just know that it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't amount to anything, and it's costing the United States of America a whole lot of money.
Remember that stunt Ron pulled on the Trump rally in Chicago? No, I don't. Jedediah Brown, I wish him the best. I don't really get involved with what he got going on with that. Peace and power. What y'all think about the reporter William J. Kelly calling out Mayor Johnson to leave office? He found out and knew about the sex scandal. I don't know. It's scandal after scandal after scandal. I honestly think that the Democratic Party in Chicago is falling, is crumbling. So we all will find out within the next couple of weeks about everything. Everything is starting to come out. Every day is something new coming out around there. It's just crazy. On top of all I know is that the whole administration don't know how to govern. All the aldermen don't know how to govern. No one knows what they're doing, and it's evident, and it's coming out, and you're seeing it. So on top of us doing these Make You Famous Fridays, there's going to be, you got William J. Kelly, who's a good reporter. You've got Marianne Ahern. You've got Austin Berg. You've got they are going to get everything out here, and we're going to give you the reasons why these people cannot get back in office. These 50 aldermen, because we're down there every day and we see that they are useless. So that's all I can say about that.
That's all I can say about that. Yeah.
I think that's.
Well, did we have quite a few people to tune in, Zoe?
Yeah. Given your experience, Miss Jessica, what should senior property owners be doing now? Since your mom did things right. We say your mom did things right with the question mark.
No, my mother did do things right. There's no question there. What I would advise is that if you have children that are trustworthy, and you know your kids better than anybody, if you have kids that are trustworthy, I think from what I've learned is that some of the stuff you already put in their name before you pass on. So they don't even have to get caught up in it, because you can't say, well, then put it in a trust, because Zoe's case, her deed was in a trust, and it still ended up being messed up. We're talking about thievery, and it would behoove Black people to take that at face value. Don't try to poke holes in what we're telling you. Try to think of the reality that if they had any legal way to take our property, they would have done it by now. You go around saying Crook County. Believe that. So my advice would be that if your children are trustworthy, and again, you know your children, and if your intent is to leave things to them, and if they have shown that they are responsible, they know how to pay bills, they keep their credit good, and as you get older, maybe add their name to your stuff so it'll go straight to them. But now, if your kids are scoundrels, I don't advise you to do that. You just gonna have to let it do what it do, and let them talk to them about the corruption and about the fact that properties are being stolen, that they're going to have to be prepared to pay attention to at the time of death, to make sure that they stay on top of it so that things like this won't happen. But based on what I've gone through, with my mother having everything in order, this is about a corrupt public system. It has absolutely nothing to do with what my mother didn't do, and all this. And you need to get that out of your heads and put it in your heads what you've heard for decades and decades and decades. And that is, they steal Black people's property. They do things with Black people's property.
Yep. How do you feel about Biden pardoning his son? We need to go back to Springfield and put pressure on that governor to get pardons for our peoples. I know how do I feel about Biden pardoning his son? Well, I knew that it was going to happen. I mean, you know, that's his son. But like Charlemagne said, like, they run on this, the Democratic run on this morals, and, you know, I'm gonna, you know, no one's above the law and all this, and then you go ahead and pardon your son, but you ran on how Trump is this criminal, Trump is convicted felon, Trump is this, Trump is that he can't be trusted, you know, all this stuff. He's gonna turn over the government. He's going to take all these things. The Project 2025, all these things, and then you turn around and pardon him. And you a hypocrite, fam. But it's not a surprise, because it's the same man who has shown you who he is since he's been in office. And I mean office like
so in the Senate.
Before I was born.
You know, I think that's the irony of it. I think that most people would, if they had the opportunity, probably would have done the same thing. But the irony of it is the fact that his son is a known drug abuser. And the fact that Biden locked up all those people, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people behind the same drug. And if you look at his speech on the Senate floor, how he was so animated about it, how he was so, you know, feeling it, that, you know, lock them up. It doesn't matter what experience they had. It doesn't matter what they were from or their circumstances. They need to be off the street. Lock them up. But yet your son could be indulging in the same identical behavior, and you go and pardon him? So society is safe with your crackhead son on the street, but society is not safe with this woman and man's crackhead son on the street. I think that's the irony behind it. Even if you look at how they came for Trump, yeah, that's one part of it. But the fact that he locked up so many people for doing the same drug,
yeah,
and gave such harsh sentences.
yeah.
I know that's the part that got me. I mean, I could see
I
about
don't
it being
understand
your
how.
son, about that's the part that got me. So, you know.
I think, and for me too, to just watch so many people ride for Hunter and not for their own people
Come on.
is crazy.
You understand why he pardoned to let Hunter out, but you don't understand why he ain't let your uncle out, your father out, your brother out, your nephew out, your sister out, your mama out, your daddy out, because they was locking them up. They was locking them up.
Yeah. Like you said,
It's
got Stockholm Syndrome. Yeah, Stockholm Syndrome is real.
It's real.
Yeah, it's real.
I agree with you. You got black people standing up, supporting Biden and defending him behind letting his son out, but ain't said nothing about their own relative. Yeah, that need to be locked up. Yeah, he wasn't nothing but a thief. Yeah, he stole my TV. And you don't think Hunter Biden did the same thing?
10 years. He pardoned him for 10 years. For all since anything from 2014 to now. 10, come on now. But y'all defended him. Whoopi Goldberg was going in. You look like a fool.
You look like a fool. You look like a fool. You look like a fool because I need to see the footage of Whoopi Goldberg going in like that about letting black people out or letting any of the other people. You know what? We don't even have to put the race on it. No, because eventually some white people start going to jail behind it too.
Yeah,
because they ended up going crack too. Right. Go right. You didn't go like that for Brett. Come on.
Yeah.
And that girl got killed. You ain't going like that for that Sonia Macy.
Yeah. They just let he out today. He out today.
It's quiet as a mouse.
Yeah, quiet as a mouse. That's what I'm saying. Like the hypocrisy is insane.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. It says if the government wants to take your property, you can hire an eminent domain attorney. Most reputable attorneys work on it. Prissy, I have an attorney. And I fired him. I had to hire him back. I got another attorney on top of that. It don't matter. Like, you gotta understand, it's corruption. It's public corruption. It doesn't. The attorneys work together. All of that. The eminent domain attorneys in Chicago. We called plenty of them before this even happened. Like this is we know this. I protested outside. I've contacted attorneys. Every attorney that I contact do not want to go against the city. That's just what it is. I have letters. So that's not going to, we know how this all works. We know how this all works.
And please be advised that it's the higher the state attorney that messed up my mother's estate in the first place, because he came into the probate process looking to get the real estate. Please understand that. Understand that half of the people that were defendants on my case were attorneys. Please understand that it's so many people that work for public employment that have real estate license.
Right. Oh my God. So many.
Real estate is the number one investment grab.
Yes.
And understand this too with an attorney. One reason why we must start a pro se, and I've continued to be in pro se, is because by working in pro se, I'm able to catch everything that they do, because there's nobody that's in between us. So I'm able to catch everything that they do. Now, you would think that they would stop because they've been caught, but no, because they got taxpayer money, they just jump into another lane and commit another bad act because they got public resources. They keep going and going and going and going. Now, you get an attorney and you just a regular everyday person with regular everyday means. You do know at some point you're no longer going to be able to pay your attorney.
Right.
You know that, right? And then once you can no longer pay your attorney, boom, now you back in the same situation. Only thing is you're in a worse situation because they settled that matter now and you don't have no more money to fight. Or either you gonna start being in pro se like we in pro se. And you better hope that you get all your documents back. You better hope that you got everything that they discussed and all this and that. Because here's the thing, the Daily Center is the only place in Cook County that does probate. That's the only venue in all of Cook County. So all probate matters come through the Daily Center. So now you look at a situation like mine, where in order for you to get to the bottom of it, you got to come at them judges, because the judges are the ones that's committing fraud. The judges are the ones that commit perjury. If you looked at that program I did with Dana with the data, I showed you all the documents.
Right.
So in order for them to get to the root of mine, they got to go against those judges. And just like the aldermen, they're not willing to do that. They're not willing to do that. Because after they finish settling my case, they got to go back into that probate court. Now they're going back with the judges being mad at them. Now they're going back with the judges saying that this and that about them and they can't be trusted and they're a turncoat. They're not going to blow their whole lawyer career to help you.
Right.
You better off going pro se so that you can keep up with your case, so you don't have to worry about running out of money.
Right.
And so that you can catch, and you can catch these people. Other than that, if we weren't in pro se, we wouldn't stand a chance.
Yeah. Like when I say our cases, because we've done went viral. We're all over the place. Our cases are everywhere. Everybody knows it. It's never changed. Our stories never changed. We have the paperwork. We have all that. This is now the waiting game until Trump get in there, because the FBI is going to have to get involved, because this is a racket that they've been doing for a long time when it comes to housing and stealing, from the probate to eminent domain to the tax delinquent to these illegal foreclosures, all of this.
All of that.
Me and Miss Jessica, I mean, what me and Miss Jessica have in common that's different from the illegal foreclosures, because you'll get some I've noticed you'll get some media with the legal foreclosures and stuff, because that's the banks. You already lost your home. If you lose your home and all that stuff, that's when they run it, right? We don't owe the bank nothing.
Right. We don't owe the bank. Come on, Zoe. Come on, Zoe.
We don't owe nothing.
We don't owe the bank.
Okay? We have all of the paperwork. Ms. Jackson has a will. We have a trust with the deed in there. We had everything with all the paperwork, with everything. My mother got a voicemail from the law department, from the City of Chicago Law Department, that gives her the 3 steps of what to do. One being our alderman who failed us. You understand? You have the claim that my mother put in, because the City of Chicago is self-insured. We did everything. This now, because it's everywhere, because they didn't go do what they were supposed to do last year, which was take care of it. Now it's a waiting game, because my judge can easily push it through. But if he push it through, he already knows that everybody's watching, right? Everybody watching. Next thing you know, here comes everybody else starting to come down there. And then that is where the domino effect comes in. That's when the whole everybody it's gonna be because they've been doing this for so long.
Yeah, it's gonna open up the floodgates.
Yeah, me and Miss Jessica we found the loophole. We found the loophole that no one else has ever been able to do, and we don't even know each other. It just happened that she saves everything, and my mama saves everything.
And the reality of my mother having a will. And I understand what a will is. I understand the authority of it. I understand the power of it. And I'm standing on it. Just like I understand as being an accountant, I understand the power of documents. I understand the power of documentary evidence. At some point, it's going to fall. Only thing I need to do is what I'm doing. Trust God and hang in there until he makes my change come. What I don't need to do is to get weary under their nonsense. Every time I'm in there, it just becomes more and more abundantly clear that they're not capable of doing it. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. They don't want to upset their colleagues. They don't want to get told on. They don't want to be all of that. It has zero amount to do with the merit of our cases. It has nothing to do with that. And we could have gotten along a much further than this, and probably had a lot more people to come out and talk about it and support us if people could just get that through their head. That it's not about something that we did.
Something else. But y'all would never
always about something else.
Y'all would never question a white person. Y'all wouldn't question no Asian person. Y'all wouldn't question no East Indian. It's always, it had to be some taxes. It had to be that. Nah. Let me tell you, a lot of y'all allow things to happen to y'all. That's never been me. Never been. I'll stand by myself. I will not have no friends. If I'm just not going to go with something or just accept it. And that is the problem with Black America. We have allowed to just accept anything. And because we have allowed to accept anything, y'all ask us questions like, well, what the Republican Party going to do for you? You know, ask question about, neither one of them don't care about you. You understand?
Who's asking anybody to care about them? Again, you pick people to care about you and like you in terms of a social circle, in terms of a family, building a family. When you go to politics, it's not about who, like, if you came down to City Hall with us right now, you would see most of them appear to like us.
Right.
It's not an issue of them not liking us.
Right.
It's not an issue of us not liking them. The issue is they won't implement the law. They scared to implement the law. They're breaking the law. If we walked in City Hall right now, I'm gonna say out of 50 of the aldermen, 45 of them will give us a hearty hello. Hey, Miss Jackson. Hey, Zoe. It's not about liking us. It ain't even about them not knowing that our cases are not legit. Come on. It ain't even about that. They know that our cases are 100% legit. The issue is just what we're saying. Them being scared to stand up, them being scared to call out their colleagues, them being devoted to the Democratic Party.
Right. Yep.
And the long time habit and practice of stealing Black people's property.
Yep. That's just what it is. It ain't. It's nothing else. It's nothing
It
more.
has zero to do with anything else.
That
And I'm
is it.
sorry that if you can't, you know, and wait a minute, Zoe. Wait a minute, Zoe. And I'm sorry that you don't understand that. You know, I'm sorry that you don't understand that. You know, all I know is I knew my mother, just like Zoe knows her mother. And I know my mother and my father, my grandmother and my uncle, those that got together back in the day and bought this building. I know. And I say my mother because she was the last one living out of all of them. I know the type of mother, the type of person that my mother was. My mother took care of her business. My mother handled her business and she raised her children to go to work and handle our business. That's what I know. So nobody is going to make a crooked and corrupt system. It's not going to all of a sudden turn my mother into somebody that she wasn't. So all of a sudden, because the city of Chicago and Cook County is corrupt, that's supposed to somehow reflect on what my mother lacked. You see how crazy your mind get. You know, if you know your mother, if you know your father, if you know your parents, you're telling me that a corrupt system, a bunch of corrupt, inept, incompetent, weak politicians can make you question the confidence that you have in your parents and the confidence that you have in their ability to handle their business, and you've watched them your whole life, and you can get down to City Hall and all of a sudden this group of people that you don't know at all, this group of people that have had a reputation for being corrupt, this group of people that right before your very eyes is economically running this city into the ground, and they can somehow make you start questioning the competency and the validity of your parent. Oh my God. I don't know what to say to that. I'm not going to go down there and all of a sudden, after knowing my mother, I was 54 years old when my mother passed. So all of a sudden, everything that I knew about my mother, everything that I saw her accomplish, every goal that I saw her make and do for all the 54 years of my life, well, I never saw my mother fall off. Our lights were never turned off. Our refrigerator never was empty. We always had a nice car to drive. We always had nice clothes. When it was time for us to go to college, my mother paid for all three of us to go to college. We didn't come out of college with student loan debt. My mother traveled the world. My mother went to the White House when Bill Clinton got inaugurated. And all of a sudden, I'm going to go down here to City Hall and meet with a bunch of losers and zeros, and they gonna make me question what my mother paid her money for and got a valid will from her attorney that she had all her life. That's between you and your parent, I guess. I don't know. I can't answer that. I know what's up with me. I know nobody down there at City Hall can make my kids believe that I'm stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, like I've lost friends because of my stance fighting the city. I don't care. The city owes my family. My godfather had the Sandpiper Lounge. Him and his brothers, they migrated here from Mississippi. They opened that up. And they helped out that community. They had the Sandpiper Lounge since 1972 until 2008 when Tasha Thomas went and had the police come in there and snatch the license off because that's when it was time for them. They had already promised that building to somebody. And that was in 2008.
Come on.
2017, they decided to knock it down. And they thought that nobody wasn't going to do anything because my mom at that time, 72, hit my father, 80. So they're not going to do anything. And then my mother went into the hospital. and I decided, and I was living in Atlanta, and I'm paying $500 a month in storage because I'm here fighting the city of Chicago because they have unlawfully demolished our family's building. Violation of the Fifth Amendment because they were trying to say that we never had the deed and the deed has been in a trust the whole time. So that's how this works. But Chicago been corrupt and people have normalized that. So, and I'm just not with that. Like, I'm just not with that. And you got to understand, I'm coming from, my mother was in a hospital. My mother was in the hospital. I could have lost my mother over y'all because y'all don't want to pay. Y'all spending more money fighting this case instead of just paying my mother.
Come on.
Then they just pay, like, come on now. So now we done took it to here. So now we got, like I told Ms. Jessica, we got them in a corner. We got them in a corner. Cook County in a corner. The city of Chicago in a corner. They don't know what to do. So yeah, it ain't about a lawyer. It ain't about, no, this is just a corrupt system that's been corrupt. Your Honor. If y'all haven't watched Your Honor on Netflix, watch it. It's prime example. Yeah. The judges have too much immunity. Again, we are politically, we need to understand these judges. We need to know these judges. You need to study these judges. These judges are a problem. And they keep getting in. People keep saying, well, are you happy that Biden put 39 black women judges in there. For what? I know.
For what? For what?
The representation of black women on the Democratic Party is trash. They don't do nothing. They're terrible. They don't do anything. Kristen Clark is the Assistant Attorney General under Merrick Garland. She is a civil rights attorney. One of her main fights is housing. I've wrote Kristen Clark 40 times. So it doesn't matter. That's a black woman. It doesn't matter.
How many black women down there? How many black women down there in City Hall?
Michelle Harris, Pat Dow, Monique Scott, Coleman, Emma Mitz. It's 5, right?
Yeah, I think that's 5. Yeah. What have they done?
Nothing. They don't know. Yeah. So that is so yeah. So no, that's not it. What we're doing is the best route, and the best things that y'all can help is share this.
And speak up.
Speak up. Come down there, support. You know, but as far as that, reach out, Jeanette Taylor. Yeah, Jeanette Taylor. Reach out. Clay, Marie Haddon, when she want to be black. Yeah, I forgot about her. Yeah. So yeah, so yeah, like this is that's how you fight. This is a new, you know, this is a new movement. You know, it's a new movement, and that's just what it is. I'm not gonna let nobody play my family, and I'm not gonna let nobody play Miss Jessica, and I'm not gonna let anybody else get played in this, because they could have settled this. So now that they did not settle this, now we're here. Okay, we damn near flipped this state red. We almost flipped the city red. You cannot tell me 2026, 2027, we can't get none of these aldermen out. I'm done. There's nothing they could tell me. I don't want them to speak to me. They don't say hi to me. Nothing. Now it's me bringing my paper down there, my notepad down there, say my 3 minutes, and then just start writing stuff about what they're doing. Who didn't come today? Start counting how many days that they missed. Okay, so this is where we do this. Yeah, I'm done. This just note taking.
Yeah. How they're voting. How they're voting, the statements that they're making, stuff like that, so that we can inform the city, so we can help get them out.
Yeah, we can help get it. Yeah, that's it, because they can't do nothing. Okay, and that's just what it is.
They can't do anything. They can't do anything. They can't do anything.
Nothing. They're gonna push that budget through, And
They're gonna push that budget through. They're gonna push that budget through in the name of they was trying to keep the city from shutting down, and it was nothing that they're gonna hit them with there was nothing we could do, and they already look, and you know it's bogus. You know it's bogus because Zoe, look how long they could have stopped the spending.
Right.
It goes back to what we started this off with about Jessie Fuentes and all them down there, how they kept pushing and pushing and pushing for more and more money. They would not stop. They would not stop. They would not tell him no. They would not stop. Even when they would give their long, elaborate speeches about this and that and the other, they still would turn around and vote for that money. And now Trump got in office, because I can guarantee you, if Kamala Harris would have won, we wouldn't even be having no conversation about no budget. They would have sent it right on through. They would have made us like, oh, well, because they know that we wouldn't have had nobody to go to. If we would have went to the governor, nothing would have happened. If we would have went back up to the White House, nothing would have happened. There's only an issue like this because the chain of events happened that Trump got in office, and now this deportation is going to happen, all this, that, and the other. That's because up until now, girl, please, they weren't thinking about stopping any of this and going to make like Brandon Johnson got they back up against the wall.
So since they're back up the wall, they're going to be gone. Miss Carla said, is it worth buying property in Chicago? Of course, it's Chicago.
It's Chicago.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's Chicago.
Yeah, so definitely, yeah. And we're gonna get Chicago right back to where it needs to be. The Auburn have too much money and can buy their seats forever. I need y'all to stop with that narrative. I need y'all to stop with that language. I'm tired of hearing that. We didn't put no money together and we almost flipped this state red. Okay? We got everything.
It had nothing to do with money.
We would have had more time. We got this time. I did a poll watching class to understand how to get the poll people to get to be on our south side and west side. This time is not a game. It's grassroots. People are tired. That money can't do nothing because majority of them going to jail in the next 6 months. They going to jail in the next 6 months. That's why they don't know what to do. Half of them not even showing up to work. Half of them foreigners, the foreigner aldermen, they're figuring out their exit right now. In Boston, they just arrested.
Did you see that? Did you see that? They just got a council person in Boston. Yep. Yep.
Over. It's
yep.
Over.
The DOJ. Yep.
Yeah. It's over. Ain't nobody playing no more. They are watching Chicago. It's gonna be an Operation Greylord 2.0. We're going to make history. Our cases will be settled, and we'll be doing TED Talks for the rest of our life. Okay? And we hope that the next generation does the same thing. Hold these elected officials accountable. Y'all not going to fix my case? Oh, then you're going to be gone.
Then you're going to be gone.
Be gone.
If you don't care nothing about me and my daughter getting put out my mother's building, I don't care nothing about you getting out your seat. I don't care nothing about you going to jail. I don't care about you losing your reputation. I don't care about any of it. It's just like they say, it's just straight out war.
Yeah, it's a straight out. I'm Nino Brown. I don't care. Okay, y'all put my mother in the hospital. It is no nonsense. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. I refuse to hear anything. If you say anything that sounds crazy, please just know that you're done. You're done. You're done. Y'all, it was very easy to solve these cases.
Very easy.
Very easy to solve.
Very easy. Very easy. Very easy. Very easy.
Every school, a police shooting. Y'all about to solve a police shooting with the boy shooting the police first. That I was out there fighting. Me and Miss Jessica was out there fighting our cases before the Dexter Reed case even happened. Reed case happened. And then now y'all settling the case before y'all settle ours? Yeah, y'all gotta go.
Y'all gotta go.
Y'all gotta go.
Y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go. You could go into a meeting and with the public administration members and show them the fraudulent document that they signed, and that person's sitting right there, and they still walking around like ain't nothing happened. They still telling me about, well, they don't know, but we gonna see. It's the most.
Yeah, because everybody is all into something. They can't do nothing, even if they want.
Right, they can't do nothing. They can't do nothing.
So they gotta go to
got
jail.
Their hands over in this and that and that and this. They can't do nothing. Yeah. They can't do nothing.
They're not. I don't care. They gotta go to jail. I don't care. I have no. Hey. I hope y'all stole enough, because if you look at all the city council members that do get in trouble for stealing, the black ones, they don't steal much. They lose their job and they pension for under $10,000, $20,000. So if that's what it is, I hope y'all got some money saved. I mean, I don't know what to do, but you're going to jail. Everybody go to white ones, black ones, Hispanic KKK, because I know they stole all that illegal immigration money. Fuentes, you probably too. You understand? Because what? Sanctuary city or not,
these buses going to keep coming. Right. And remember at the time when she was saying that, that's when the buses was what? 10 a day, 12 a day, 5 a day. That's when these buses was coming. These buses was coming.
And not one bus pulled up to her ward.
Or her street.
So yes, Jessie Fuentes, enjoy your next little 2 years or not.
Because you gotta go. You gotta go. And if you want to prove that you if you want to prove that you're capable of staying,
right.
Let's see how you handle this situation with this change of administration.
Right.
Let's see how you handle that.
Right.
Let's see, are you able to comply with what the President of the United States says? Or does your mind tell you that the priority is for one group of people, your illegal immigrants that you want over here? To hell with what the city wants. To hell with the money. To hell with our communities. To hell with that. To hell with that.
Hell with that.
They're going to keep coming. They're going to keep coming. So we're watching to see how you, Jessie Fuentes, gonna handle the change of administration. That's what we all watching for. We're watching how is City Hall going to handle the change of administration.
Amen. Because they don't know what to do. They are. Woo.
Let's see.
And I have no grace for nobody. They don't have no grace.
No, they are willing to watch me and my family lose our stuff. They are willing to do it. I don't want to hear nothing about how we tried to. Nope. I tried to be as open-minded as I could. I tried to be After Wednesday with the law department episode, I'm done. I'm done. So I think we did okay for our first time coming out. What do you think?
Hours. Any last words, Miss Jessica?
No, except for thank you guys for tuning in. And as we move forward, we we wanted to build, get better, and whatever. But I think I like that we came and did it the first time, and hopefully, the people learned something.
Yeah. Thank you. So please share this, like this, subscribe, and we will see you next Friday.
For Famous Friday.
Famous Fridays.
See you guys later. Good night.